need Jack. I don't know what the fuck this means.
We need Jack here. We should probably just not talk about the subject until, like, the local gets here. Hi. Just don't want to go to work on Friday. But I will.
Yeah, that's what you get for being a wage slave. I, too, am a wage slave.
That's what I get for...
Fucking wage cock.
Sorry, viewers.
Don't worry, no one's actually listening.
Yeah, no one is listening.
I haven't sent it out to all of my people.
Yeah, let's send it out once, like, our... I'll just, like... I'll just see if
Once
there's...
we turn the slur filter on.
Slur filter? Oh, I wonder, like, let me look up, how to get more views on podcast. Jack says as long as we keep this clean, it could get like something like become official Irish programming.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so yeah, let's like use a call to, so let's do 6 tips to increase your podcast listeners. Number 1, create a podcast trailer. Number 2, use calls to action. Yeah, you know, apparently I was looking this up. You know the stupid thumbnails where, like, someone's mouth is open and there's, like, a red circle highlighting something? This guy, I forgot who, it was a pretty big channel guy. He uploaded just a normal thumbnail, like a clip from the video. Then he did the same video with a same title, everything with a thumbnail where he's, like, pointing at something with, like, the red circle. And it got, like, 25% more views.
Stupid.
And also telling people to like and subscribe at the end of the video actually works. It's
that makes sense.
Promote your podcast on social media. I don't really creating and repurposing content. Maybe I can like get OnlyFans girls to spread this video out.
That's true. That'd be pretty good. They use our logo to censor their things and say you got to pay for it to get uncensored. That's pretty good advertising. Dude, I'm looking for the Know Your Masters picture that has all the Irish people, but I don't think that's going to pop up on Google. I found it on the
stream a while ago. Oh, God.
Yeah, apparently searching Know Your Masters Irish.
I think Jack put it in the group chat. Hold on.
Let me just search Know Your Masters.
No.
Featuring Hyderabad Hydras? What the fuck?
You might be able to get away if you put in a list of Irish CEOs.
Oh, that could do.
Yeah. Okay, well, while we're, like, still, like, kind of in the pre-stream stages, I'm just going to go ahead and, edit my phone went off.
Then turn it back on, you fucking idiot.
I mean...
Yeah, I just see a bunch of pictures of people. We'll try... I actually use Bing, because I'm a shill. I'm a Chinese shill. But we'll try... Irish dancing cheating scandal. That's a good thing that I looked up at one point.
Irish dancing cheating? Okay. I should do like,
Alright, I put Irish CEOs and I have some graphic for it that has a lot of the ones on Wall Street. But one of the guys is apparently Greek. I didn't know that. The guy who runs JP Morgan is Greek. Isn't that weird? I'll let you guess where the guy from Goldman Sachs is from.
Where? Israel?
Yeah.
No.
Now, if I reverse image search this, it's on. I'm getting this off of iFunny Brazil. That's good.
What the? Yeah, that will be the most racist thing you will find.
What else is on iFunny Brazil? They have an iFunny Brazil. Oh, Jesus. I went to the comments. Comments are pretty bad. They refer to the Irish as the Green Menace. That's pretty good.
Oh,
pretty
Lord.
Good.
Okay.
Is that Mr. Heroin Eater? Talking about how the Irish control the banks. Yeah, I'm not getting any other fun things on iFunny Brazil for some reason.
Should we do education?
Education? Oh, as a tag?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, okay, I think I found it. I think I just need to start doing more hashtags so they won't get picked up by the
I think so too. The more hashtags we have, the better.
comma. Going out.
Why is iFunny Brazil not funny?
Your guess is as good as mine. I remember iFunny is just it's so incredibly right wing. Like for
I didn't know
for a
that.
meme app. I deleted the app because I was like 16. I was still using it, and this is before I got Reddit. And I saw this photo of it was like this old guy sitting at like a Denny's with his like 2 black granddaughters, and it's like imagine fighting in World War II to have your bloodline destroyed. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, that was a bit much.
And it was just like he was just making a blank expression like they caught him, and then like it wasn't like miserable. iFunny probably indoctrinated a shit ton of like 16-year-old versions into being right wing.
Probably.
It's like Andrew Tate and his appeal to 12-year-old boys. Oh my god.
If it works, dude. Yeah, I don't know why he appeals to 12-year-old boys, because, well, to be fair, that's
Because-
around the age where I want to start getting laid.
Yeah, no, it's exactly. But also, 12-year-olds are these days are fucking losers. Holy shit! Like Jesus Christ, they just like they like become basement dwellers and 4chan and neats and 4chan neats are now like the baseline, like the baseline teenager now. It's fucking weird.
It is weird.
Very weird.
It is so very weird. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do, bucko?
Oh god, there's like anime shit on here now.
Oh god, okay, well, now we gotta show the video around.
Cringe. Actually cringe.
This is pretty...
Kind of a cringe.
You just committed cringe.
In my household?
Looks like you're gonna have to kill you.
Why is girls an option on iFunny Brazil?
That's weird.
But it's like, no, it's actually girls. It's not, I don't know, meninas or whatever it is in Portuguese.
I think a lot of people in Brazil consume English media.
Probably.
Yeah.
But there's still well, I don't know. Actually, I'm curious to see how many people, Brazil English speakers. Let's see what we got here. Around 5%. Which, to be fair, that's what, like 10 million people?
Was that people that have like tested, like that had their like government B2 levels or something?
We'll see. We'll see what the thing says. Yeah, okay.
And
it doesn't explain. Its literacy rate in English is 5%, which I think they just tested it in the cities, estimated it, and said there's going to be no significant number of people outside of, like Sao Paulo, Rio, Belo Horizonte, whatever. I can name like 5 Brazilian cities. Outside of those 5 Brazilian cities, probably no one speaks these.
So we have no viewers. It's good.
That is good. That means we can still say it.
Well, I just got a message of some sort.
What's it say?
Jack will make it.
Well,
so I hope you can make it, Jackie boy. He says I will. Excellent. So we should not talk about Ireland until he gets here, because we'll butcher it and have to look shit up, but he'll do it off the top of his head.
That's true. As an Irish unionist himself. I don't know if he's a unionist.
I don't think he is. So
okay. I just realized that it's like a fucking zip bag.
Yeah.
What do we say they are?
So I get you some like lemon tart snacks.
Lemon tart snacks?
Yeah.
Boy.
So this one's like this one has a more like a lemon peppery vibe, and this one is sweeter. Which one would you like?
I do like lemon pepper.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave, for this lemon tart.
No problem. I always love giving my friends lemon tarts. Hold on, let me go get the fruit juice.
Hello, audience. Audience of one, which is likely me on my phone, seeing if this is streaming. I am your co-host, Zach.
Send this to your sister.
No, she doesn't listen to... Well, she usually is too busy doing other things. She gets way too distracted too easily, so she would not be able to.
Fuck.
This lemon tart almost smells chocolatey.
Really? Chocolate?
Yeah.
The guy said it'd be peppery.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Yeah, I can smell chocolate.
It's like dark chocolate.
Yeah, well, it's
Sold you the lemon tart.
it's a new flavor. It's a new flavor, and you should always try new things. And if we don't like it, we just won't buy them again.
That's true.
Yeah, and I didn't break the bank on them either. How much? Do you want like a finger of whiskey?
Sure. That sounds good. We'll see how much We'll see how much it takes before my ulcer either explodes or disappears. I drank heavily until it went away. That's how it worked the first time. That's how it worked the second time. Now it's gonna be how it worked the third time. You ever get an ulcer?
No. Cause I'm not an old fucking man.
I got an ulcer. When did I get an ulcer? Oh, it was when I went to China for the first time. I came back with like big stomach issues and an ulcer, which was thank you, which was ass. But the first time I went like totally sober for 8 months or something, believe it or not, that happened. And then it got better, and then in China I said, I'm not going to let it control me, and I just willed it away. I just clenched my abs really hard until the ulcer went away. I did that for like 4 months, and it was just gone.
You just healed yourself.
Exactly.
Through strength.
It works. What works.
Cratotic medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, Nathan made a scrapbook, I think.
That's kind of cute. It's got cookies on it.
Yeah, they're really in love. It's adorable.
Are they gonna get married?
Probably, I guess, one day.
Well, that's part of the...
Right.
We'll see. Oh.
This is a much better...
I see.
It's a much better tart cutter.
I don't know how to use that tart cutter.
I just kind of put it in.
God,
Did your ulcer just hit?
No, I had like a pound of sauerkraut before I came.
Oh god.
And so I've been prepping.
Oh my god. How often do you eat sauerkraut? You
Not that often.
Yeah, just like
that's why we always have sauerkraut though, and so we didn't know what to have for dinner. We were waiting for my mom, and she didn't respond. She got home and was like, I'm not gonna eat. So we had sausage and sauerkraut and a steak.
Why do moms be doing that? Like, I will not consume food today. I'm like, that's not like a normal thing.
You don't know why. She always does that. And then she gets like a shit ton of sweets and cakes. She got a cheesecake. We have a cheesecake. We have pie. We have just a bunch of shit in there. How do you use this?
It feels like it's not gonna cut it, but it cuts it.
Oh.
The last time we used it.
Oh.
I guess like speed is ideal.
Oh, I guess. Well,
okay.
I don't do speed.
Yeah, no, God, no.
That's what John calls Adderall. I don't know why. Like, unironically, he was asking us if we wanted to do some speed. Now, make sure not to burn the label on the lemon tart. You gotta...
Yeah,
it's a very slidey label. Yeah, mine did the same thing.
It's all this cringy.
Cat likes these lemon tarts. You saw this cringy? We're looking at cringe.
I hit orange second.
Let me find this cringe.
I may have mentioned it before, but Andrew Tate posted a video. I'll shut this off because it's like very noticeably picked up by the mic.
It's like,
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, it's also like weird temperature anyway.
You know, I'm kind of excited to. No, I'm going to change the subject. I'm kind of excited to be
immediate.
Yeah, I'm excited to be moving out because in my basement I'm going to live in.
Mm-hmm.
I could actually I've stolen enough soundproofing foam from the school. I could actually like make like an actual sound room that we could do. We could like record, send videos in and shit, or make videos in.
That would be pretty rad, as opposed to this.
I like this one. It's not as flavorful as some of the others we've had, but it's still pretty good.
This one's alright.
Hey, Mom, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about Irish independence today.
Well, we're talking about that at some point. We're not talking about that yet because we're not Irish, so we're just going to make up facts. And then that'll get us banned for being, what do they call it? I don't know. Not disingenuous.
There's like this one museum of North America in Russia somewhere. And it talks about how America was originally a Russian colony. Like, it just lies. Like some insane Russian billionaire paid to make it, and it's just lies. I wonder if I can
technically, that's not wrong. It was a Russian colony, because Alaska was a Russian colony. Now, did it start from that? No. Did they contribute anything? No. But technically...
We've said this probably a dozen times before, but just imagine being that one Russian diplomat that was like, oh, thank fuck. We offloaded Alaska. Oof. Big problem gone there, Kaiser. Then, like, 30 years later, we found oil under here. God damn it.
No, apparently they were like,
yeah.
The reason that they sold it to us is back in the day, they were like our best friends.
Yeah.
Because we already said fuck you, France, immediately after France helped us. But we didn't say fuck you, Russia, because Russia just never asked for anything. So we were really buddies, and they said, well, we don't want this, and it's close to you guys, and we don't really like Canada, so it'd be really nice if you guys had this.
That's hilarious.
And now we're, enemies and whatnot. That's one thing. We should go to war with the British again. I think everything will just realign itself after that for a while. That's my hot take for the day.
Hot take. Remember
hot take.
Putin. Ukraine sent another missile attack on another Russian airfield within Russian borders today.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they also hit Moldova.
When did that happen? I don't know.
That was a couple days ago.
I only heard about the Poland. Ago. Like, did anyone die in Moldova, or was it just...
No, I think it just, like, landed in a field, and it was a bunch of... thankfully no one died, but it was a bunch of memes about just not a single tractor was harmed in the explosion, because literally what's in Moldova? Farmers. And
I think they have a total of 9 tanks, which is a lot, yeah.
But they do have ozone. You remember ozone? You may not remember ozone.
You mean the bike? You mean the bike company?
No, the band. They're famous for their hit "Dragostea Dinte," which also is known as the Numa Numa song.
Numa? Oh my god! Really? Oh
They're
wow!
from Moldova.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage, but that's the only thing, man. There was something in the news that I saw that I was gonna bring up, and then I forgot about it totally.
Another shooting happened today, Little Rock.
In Little Rock,
West Little Rock. Well, it happened technically last night, but made the news this morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sucks. But what are you gonna do? Move to Conway?
Yeah, just white flight out to Conway.
It works.
Well, what's happening is that Californians are going to gentrify all like the crime out of Little Rock eventually, probably because they're gentrifying Fayetteville because Austin became too expensive. And they'll just kind of keep on going down highways like veins in the major cities. And who commits the most crime? Poor people.
That's true.
Oh yeah, speaking of crime, did you hear the new crime statistics dropped? It's 1352 now.
Oh no, it's gone up. Yeah, I did notice I did actually see that. It was like a week or two ago, I think, when the FBI released it, where they no longer separate by ethnicity, they just do it by race. And so, since most Latinos say that they are white, it says white/Hispanic.
Oh,
and so
yeah. That's yeah. That's it.
And I thought, that's a bit on the nose.
That is kind of...
But that was, I think it was the year prior or the year or two before that, individual cities stopped releasing race-based crime statistics because it would make people racist.
Yeah, well, because it's the human brain is naturally pattern-seeking. So that's the reason why we have racism. You see, a trend happening, and you don't really investigate why it's happening. You just see the trend. You're like, it must be an inherent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's because like poor people commit more crime, and the majority and like I think like an insane number of black households live like the income disparity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from like historical racism and shit. So it's like.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at Thomas Sowell's argument about it,
God damn, I've seen his videos. When I was like younger, I drifted more right wing to try to rebel against my parents. So I was essentially a centrist at one point. And I would still watch his videos, and he would essentially tell me the things I wanted to hear, things I already believed. You know?
Yeah, that's fair. I will say I do like his economic. I do like the Chicago School of Economics in general.
I don't know about that. I need to do some more research.
Yeah, that one. I wish I could summarize it really fast. I can't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt to. I'll just like read it in my head while you talk. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so it's that's where he comes from. The biggest thing about it, though, and especially the University of Chicago, is like if you're gonna say something, don't prove it normatively, prove it empirically. So just give a shit ton of numbers, which is I do think he's very good in his writings about that stuff of getting a lot of numbers on a lot of things, which do make the arguments sound good, but you can also tell very clearly, like, who was this directed?
Thomas Sowell, quote, don't be fooled by big, old socialist titties. They're meant to hypnotize and enslave your ass.
Goddamn right. They are, kids.
That's not a real quote, audience. Sorry. It's a meme I remembered, yeah.
That's a pretty good meme. But yes, socialist titties, bad. We don't like those commie titties.
In Obama's book, he talked about how he would pretend to be more leftist to hit on socialist bitches in college. It's so funny.
Dude, that is how you do it. All you have to do is just change your political beliefs, or just say things and make it sound ironic when it's not actually ironic. Is that Jick?
Jack with the fresh cut. Get in here.
No, you got the wrong guy. I'm afraid.
Oh. You still got a nice fresh cut, though.
Let me sit anywhere. You can move that.
Lovely. I have an ice cube tray and some green label. I'm loving life.
Do you want some whiskey?
Me too.
Why the hell not?
Yeah, let me get you a glass. Hold on, man.
Chateau
Okay, see, the Powers household only owns 2 glasses that aren't tucked away in the attic, so I was only able to get 2 glasses.
I think Emma did.
And that's probably vinegar at this point. I don't know how long that's been.
well, it's from California. Of course, it's vinegar.
Oh, wonderful!
Well, it's been
and it's from 2018. It's been here for a while.
Oh wow, that is wow. Yeah. Amazing.
It's something at least.
Let's give it a whiff. Oh wow, yeah.
I'll give you the rest of the ice cubes.
I'm gonna put that on my fries. Good lord.
Oh, that might be pretty good. Actually, that might be pretty good.
We used to invented a new
Many thanks.
We invented a new $100,000.
Yeah, really. It's just like a $10 bottle of wine that we just let sit out and become shitty, and then sell it.
Epic cigar company.
No, you mean Lemon Tart Company?
Lemon Tart. Zach, you want a lemon tart? You can say no.
Actually, I'll try one.
Hold on. I just realized your Let's Learn Japanese book.
Oh, yeah?
It's by the most Japanese name I've ever seen. Aurora Kachapoti. See.
Sorry, I promised this lemon tart to someone else previously. I forgot, so my apologies. I will get you...
I prefer cherry anyway, so it's all good.
That was okay.
Yeah, I'll get you one. Okay, hold on. I need to play the intro song now since now the podcast is starting. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's this going to be?
1 second. Let me
I don't know either. That's what scares me.
Am I going to have to stop?
And then we said, we don't know what we're talking. Yes.
Wait, welcome to the Spectrum. It's me, your host Dave, accompanied by Zach and Jack. The power combo from a few months ago. Today is a very special day because it's Irish Independence Day, but not for the Republic of Ireland. It's for something else. Jack, care to educate us?
So Irish Independence Day, no one gives a single shit about, but it's technically Independence Day. It is the day when the part of Ireland got independence, but not all of it. So no one wants to celebrate it because it was like a half victory because the North is still in the UK.
Oh.
But it's technically our Independence Day, so I know how Americans love a good Independence Day. So
goddamn right.
I knew that would do well in this market.
Independence from the UK is the best thing imaginable.
Yes.
So true.
Did the North just opt out of being independent?
Basically,
time for a history lesson, yeah.
Yeah, history lesson. Yeah, so there were a load of pretty much British loyalists up in the North who weren't too happy about the whole independence arrangement. Pretty much the next day after the Independence Treaty was signed, the North was like, no, I want to be in the UK again, and then they were.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Why? What is
Very, very briefly, so pretty much you have Ireland, you have Britain. Britain comes over and takes over Ireland and colonises it. And then they settle a load of English and Scottish people who are loyal to the crown, and they settle them mostly in the north.
Oh, it's like a population replacement.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Legally a genocide.
Then why was the Pale of Irish settlement in the center of Ireland, the central eastern part?
That is, you have to go back a few centuries before this particular event to get the Pale. Although, interesting fact, people from South Dublin have a distinctive, very posh accent, and it's kind of British-y because South Dublin is the rich part, and that's where all the Brits were. So they still kind of speak a little bit different because of that.
Not bad.
So that's interesting. But yeah, you pretty much had this population replacement, so the North is now split between native Irish and British, which are at this point native, but at the same time not really, you know. So yeah. And
Good
then
stuff.
400 years of conflict and subjugation, here we are.
And here you are.
Yes. Still alive. The Irish still live.
The island is still floating.
Yes.
It is still floating.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, does Northern Ireland touch the Britain? Does it
No.
Oh
Not
no.
at all.
There's how big is the gap? In between?
The average width of the sea between the islands is probably 100 miles or so.
Oh, okay.
But at its closest point, there is a place on the north coast which is 20 miles from Scotland, and you can see it on a clear day.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty interesting.
It's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
Not bad. Well, they ever going to retake Northern Ireland or what?
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
I mean, there was talks about building a bridge, but that fell through.
So I guess I know a little bit about this, but I'm gonna assume Brexit really threw a whole wrench into the whole no hard borders of Northern Ireland and Ireland.
Yeah. I would actually describe it the other way around. It was
really?
Northern Ireland threw a wrench in Brexit.
Oh.
Because pretty much, you have the sort of the Irish Party and the British Party in Northern Ireland basically. Neither of the two ruling parties want a border on the island.
Yeah.
So you have the South, which is in the EU, and the North, which is now not. So neither of them want a customs border on the island, but neither of them want a customs border between Northern Ireland and Britain. But it has to go somewhere.
There has to be a
And
customs
the
border.
two options are unacceptable to both the ruling parties. So we're just kind of sitting here going, what the fuck do we do? And that's pretty much the long and short of it.
I see.
It's almost like shooting your country in the foot is kind of a bad idea, especially when you have a precarious border situation.
A little bit of a bad idea,
Yeah.
just a small bit. But yeah, Northern Ireland as an entity voted to remain, but then because England and Wales voted to leave, and then England has a ridiculously higher population, England kind of dragged the rest of the people out with them.
Yeah, it was.
I'm telling you, dude, don't give credit to England here. Fuck the Welsh. Okay.
Yeah. So what the fuck happened to that
Cardiff.
250 million per day?
What's
That was
sorry?
the 250 million per day that England was giving to the EU.
Oh, yeah,
that was
to-
supposed to go back to NHS or something.
Yeah, so it was 250 million a week, and then
Oh,
there was
a week.
this famous like ad like on the side of a load of buses in
Oh, the Boris buses,
in
yeah,
London.
yeah.
The Boris buses, and it was like 250 million a week, like vote to keep 250 million, and then people did vote to keep the 250 million, and it just has not gone into the health service. It's simply
Where
has
is
not.
it? Where is it?
Fuck knows. It's like when the Pentagon like mysteriously lost like $3 trillion.
Oh, I know.
Nobody knows.
Oh, trust
No
me,
one knows.
I know exactly where that money went. They showed this new. They showed off the new B-21 stealth bomber this week.
Oof.
Looks sick.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just looks like a white B-2.
Yeah.
But knowing that thing, it's probably like it's actually powered by hydrogen bombs.
sacrifice.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me. I would. We are going to DC on the 12th, and we are going through things we want to do. And we're like, okay, let's see if we can get like a tour of the Pentagon. U.S. citizens only.
What?
And yeah, you have to
definitely
book
US
it.
citizens. It's insane.
I think like over a month in advance.
All right, how fast can I get a green card and a passport?
Nice.
Well, you do.
Sadly,
yeah,
it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Then we were like, okay, let's do a White House tour. Me as a citizen, I have to like the based on what I saw on the website, I would have to contact my congressman and get them to arrange a tour for me.
Wow.
And Petra and Zuza would have to go to the embassies and get an ambassador to arrange a tour.
Honestly, you know
Yeah.
what? I would do that
Yeah.
just because,
But
to like.
it's 21 days in advance, and so we already
Yeah.
missed it.
Oh,
Like,
alright.
yeah.
I would just like bother the ambassador and just be like, please. Wait, 21 days? Do I have? I think I might have time.
Well, that's what who I'm going with. I'm going with much later.
Yeah.
And they're going after I leave New York. They're going back to DC, and it's a guy from. He was born in Bangladesh, and then when he was like 5 months old, he moved to Italy. So, and then he lived there until he was 16. Then went to Manchester, and then had to learn English,
Yeah.
mank English, in like I think it was 6 months. He had never taken an English class. He had to learn it in 6 months to pass his. I think it was his A levels.
Yeah.
And did. So they were like, "Oh, surely you're from the UK." So he has meme citizenship of 3 different countries. And I can't remember which one of them said like, "Yeah, we could probably do it."
He can take his pick, yeah.
The most that reminds me of this. I was on a train in Germany, and they had wait, hold on. Let me make sure I remember this correctly. When was this? I totally forgot.
When you were in Germany.
No, because I crisscrossed through Germany to get from one country to the other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was at the I think the Dutch and German border, and they stopped the train to let the police board to like do a routine. It was like a routine check, basically like a passport check. And I didn't know what they said because it was in German. I was listening to my headphones, and so we're in the and my passport is just deep in my luggage, and so they come by asking for people's passports, and then the cop comes to me, and as I'm like trying to fish out of my bag. Digging your bag next to a cop is a weird feeling, especially.
Yeah.
My mom's commenting. Sorry. So like,
Mom.
so it's like digging your bag next to a cop is a weird feeling. Being an American, like, I'm happy to. And he stops and he's like, "Are you an American?" I go, "Oh yeah, I'm an American. I'm actually wearing a cowboy hat during this conversation." I goes, "Oh, you're fine." Like, just does not even check like my driver's license or something. He's just like, "You're good.
so
You're good."
In China, my story for that one is in China. There is actual, like, legitimate borders and border controls and customs.
Is
and
it in
yada,
between
yada,
like the little areas? Because I know China's like,
no,
like-
it's just between
Korea.
like two. Yeah, right. Between if you go to Hong Kong or if you go to Macau.
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I could walk down to the border of Macau. It's only like a couple miles away.
Oh, wow.
And so we went there a couple of times, and I went there on a date with a girl, and she's from Kyrgyzstan.
Oh,
So that's not a real country. The United States happens to be a real country, so I've been in and out of Macau a
Love you,
couple of
Mom.
times. Love you too, Mom. And I've been in and out of Macau a couple of times, and as an American, you just go through the regular stuff. Probably as a European, you do the same thing. Just walk through. They say, okay, cool, stamp, go on in. If you're from...
This is what I'm feeding you depending on what type of...
Whoops.
I'm very sorry.
If you're from not a rich country, they think that you're going to go into Macau and either A, be sold into slavery, or B, just going to abuse the passport visa lack of restrictions to stay there forever. So I go there on a date with her. We're going through the things, and she gets told to go to the side room. And they bring her in there, and she has to have a certain amount of... It was something like the equivalent of, 3,000 RMB, which is like $500 going in there. And she has to show them that she has the money, and then she goes in a room and gets interrogated. And after she gets interrogated, they say she's fine. This is like a 20-minute interrogation. And they let her go, and then she goes through the side door that's on... That's in a different part of the thing, but leads to the same section that the people who go through regular customs and stuff would go through. And so I was sitting there waiting for her, so I stand up, and he's like, sir, the Macanese border guards were like, sir, you can't go through
Chinese?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all speak Chinese, English, Cantonese, Portuguese. I think they have to speak all four, essentially, which is a bitch. But they say, sir, you can't go through there. You can, come get yourself in line and we can do this. But you're not allowed to go through there. You got to get your little passport stamp.
Yeah.
And my response was, no, I don't have to do that. I'm American. Which I thought that yes, which I thought meant like, oh no, I could just go through the regular line instead of like, fuck that. And so I just walk on through. And then I think,
You just like commit an international crime.
thankfully, they came up and just like, stamp, okay. Just so I want to get, immediately. Because they do look for your entry stamps when you're trying to get back into China to make sure that you didn't, cross the border illegally into Macau and then try and sneak your way into China. But I did say that, and they just didn't expect that, I guess. Oops.
So, back to what I was talking about earlier about the congressman tour and stuff. My mom says, our congressman is Tom Cotton. My mom has gotten a cease and desist letter from Tom Cotton's office because she sends him hate mail, essentially. And so I now have no chance of getting the White House unless I move districts.
Oh my God.
Just do Bozeman. Bozeman's a nice enough guy.
John Bozeman, yeah.
Why was my first thought Bozeman, Montana? I thought you were telling this guy to move to Montana. I was like, do you have links in Montana? Can you
So if you look at the thumbnail for the stream, or sorry, the image that's being broadcasted right now, we actually have an Irish president. Most people don't know Joe Biden's Irish.
Yeah, he's also Catholic.
Yes, he's Catholic.
The Hibernian cabal is real.
Dude, we were trying to look up the Know Your Masters.
Yeah.
The Irish, and it's just, you cannot find it except for on iFunny Brazil. That was the only thing, and I did not want to link to iFunny Brazil.
Wait, screenshot it, send it to me on WhatsApp.
Oh my God, that's amazing. But yeah, no.
But go ahead.
We propagate these Jewish cabal rumors to take the heat off of ourselves, basically.
Oh yeah, I could also link all of the comments on this thing too. They were saying the same thing. The Green Menace. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was on iFunny Brazil for a bit too long, so
yeah. Isn't like Brazil, India, and I want to say Indonesia the most white supremacist countries in the world? Like.
Pretty much. I'll just take a screenshot because I'm not gonna actually try.
Brazil, India, Indonesian nationalism is on the internet. It is just a different breed.
Yeah,
it's unreal. It's amazing to watch.
The Indian skin color bias is also insane. Like,
oh my!
It's like this motherfucker's like one. It's the Family Guy skin color meme, but like it's a person from your hometown or something.
Yeah. Oh my God. No.
It's like, he's from the untouchable class.
No, it's true for a lot of things. For a lot of places once again, back to China, because that's where most of my stories come from.
So Mr. Worldwide in China.
Exactly. Yeah, for this one particular country.
America who has been to one country.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been to 3 countries total in my life, and one of them is the U.S. But in China, I was with my friend, she's a pretty young white woman, and we're in my working class neighborhood that pretty young white women don't go to. And a bunch of Cantonese people come up, they offer me cigarettes, and she's so nice that she wants to make friends. She offers them to sit down, and they hang out with us. But they're like, again, really working class, which means they're very tan for Chinese standards, right?
Yeah.
And this one guy, I can name drop him because they're not going to know if this is a real name or not. His name is Agwe. So Agwe actually keeps talking to us for a bit, and he keeps hitting on the pretty young women. And eventually we go out to the neighborhood where everyone else lives, which is the more upper crust one where they actually do put the white people. I was the only one adventurous enough to not be there. And we had another Chinese friend there. And we invite this other guy. We invite Agwe out there. And our Chinese friend just stands up and walks out.
What?
What the
What?
fuck? And then, Agwe goes out for a smoke. Apparently this guy was just, like, sitting outside waiting for Agwe to leave. And he comes back in. We're like, Ryan, what the fuck? His English name, Ryan. Ryan, what the fuck? And he's like, dude, you see that guy? Did you see how dirty that guy was? I do not want to be seen with it. Like, dude, what the chill out.
Christ.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, colorism's pretty bad in those countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And it's like a relic of, like, okay, I know for, what's wrong? Oh, yeah. For
My
China,
lemon tart
I know
lost
it's like
its
a colonial
spark.
influence. I think the colorism.
No, China's always been like that.
Oh, I know India has always been like that as well. Like,
Yeah, because it's pretty much the rich people can
stayed inside.
can afford to stay inside,
Yeah,
and so
duh.
their skin is lighter. But the working people have to work out in the sun, and so their skin gets darker because of it. So that's
Yeah.
what happens. It's the same in like a lot of Hispanic countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Precisely. But that's okay. I was going to say something about Tom Cotton, too. Just go back to that.
Tom Cotton.
Speaking of which,
he's totally going to
have you, he is going to run for president, but
Yeah.
so is Asa Hutchinson. Isn't that a meme? They're
I-
both
I
going to
don't-
waste a shit ton of money.
I'd vote for AFAT, honestly.
Okay, I clearly don't understand, like, the nuance behind this. I'm just thinking, what the hell? I'm looking at the guy with a laptop that says Faulkner County Democratic Party, and he's like, yeah.
All right,
I just
the
burned my
Arkansas
eyes.
Democrat Party. I
There's a
remember
meme.
when we had.
Young Democrats?
I almost called him Mike Hunt. Isn't that funny? No, what's his name? Mike
Huckabee?
No. It was the guy who was running against Asa Hutchinson the first time.
No, that is Mike Huckabee.
No, it wasn't Mike Huckabee because Mike Huckabee he couldn't become governor. We have term limits.
Oh, shit.
No, this was back in 2000. This is when I graduated, so 2018.
Yeah.
No, I didn't graduate.
My-
What
my-
the fuck?
my-
2014.
My
high
favorite-
school.
Oh, yeah.
But
I wonder when
it
Catherine
was
graduated high school.
don't. But they came. The Democrat guy and Asa Hutchinson came, and they had a debate at our school, and we were sitting there. We got out of class to watch it.
Oh,
we're like,
cool. That's
if
right.
if they didn't tell us who it was, you couldn't tell who was Democrat and who was Republican. They were the same.
Yeah.
So-
Like Arkansas, I'm pulling up the meme right now. Wall Street CEOs, know your masters.
It's the same for the two main parties in the Republic of Ireland. Like, they're so, like, they differ on, like, exactly 3 things. And, like, the rest of it's all the same,
Yeah, like fucking like European political parties really do confuse me because at a national level, Democrats and Republicans in America are very, very different. But in Europe, it's like the like leftist eco coalition, and there's like the liberal healthcare coalition that fucking hate each other, and they split the vote in Italy, and like
weird.
now
So that-
Maloney is now in charge.
I was gonna say that's the good part about having a two-party system is that necessarily you have to hate the position that the other side takes on everything. So if you ever look at voting records, it could be like some whack shit that the party would normally vote for, but the other party's in power, so they vote against it.
Yeah.
It's dumb shit.
Oh shit! Speaking of Maloney, I saw a video where she called out France. So they're like continued colonial. She used it as a way to like. She just did a whataboutism. She was like, "So what if Italy drowns migrants in the Mediterranean when they try to cross? At least we don't still have a stranglehold on our former colonies like France does, because France prints the currency of a lot of African countries." It controls that country's value.
Yeah.
And no, so whataboutism, but still she was totally right and based. So anything that's anti-France is automatically based in my book.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is
for real.
true. That's
It-
true.
It kills me that in the soccer World Cup, it's France versus England coming up, and it's like I can cheer for neither of these
Dude, I was so sad when Japan got knocked out, but I didn't think they could win against Croatia. Croatia's good this year.
Croatia reached the final in 2018.
Yeah, no, they're good. Yeah, no one thought Japan would beat Germany and Spain. That's pretty impressive.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Spain with like I think 13% ball possession, the lowest
Oh, really?
in FIFA history.
That's pretty good.
It's essentially like it kind of implies they got lucky, but winning a World Cup game does take some amount of skill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Japan's actually getting pretty good at sports that the British invented. They did pretty well at the Rugby World Cup. When was that? 2009.
Yeah, Japan had a massive victory over like
how about six?
South Africa, who are a massive rugby nation. I remember watching it actually because I was on a ferry and there was nothing else on. There was one TV in the place, so everyone was watching the Rugby World Cup. Japan beat South Africa and it was massive.
Yeah. And then South Africa goes to win the whole thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was weird.
Japan's getting better at sports and war.
I don't think they're getting better at war.
Well, they're kind of
Because they were pretty good maybe 70 years ago.
I'm
for a little while.
Well, I'm very happy that they've
80 years ago.
Here they ordered. I think they either have finished constructing or are about to finish constructing a helicopter carrier for self-defense, which can totally not also carry F-35s, which they definitely have not said they would order from the U.S. for self-defense.
For self-defense.
I forgot. It's just the defense force because they passed in 20. Oh jeez, 15 in 2015 they passed a resolution in their constitution where they could use their self-defense force to defend other countries.
Oh my god.
Incredibly based.
The sphere of prosperity is mere decades away.
Today I saw the Supreme Leader of Iran, which Japan wanted to make part of their prosperity sphere in World War II. Fun fact. No, they wanted to go
They're pretty
all of
similar.
Asia. The Supreme Leader of Iran said like Iran needs to have a cultural shift. That's like a direct quote. I'm like, what do you mean? He didn't elaborate.
Which direction?
I assume he means like we probably shouldn't let women outside.
Based.
Yeah, Besado.
Kind of based. Yeah, he's a odd fellow.
Yeah. Well,
he comes out of his house like once every 2 years.
His best quote is that like if America didn't exist, we'd have to invent them because they essentially justify their authoritarianism by saying, "Well, death to America.
Yeah.
America's bad."
Yeah,
which
pretty much.
we are.
We are still the great Satan.
Yes.
In their eyes, they no longer have the little Satan. That's the Soviet Union. They're gone. But they still have Israel. So that's good.
You always got to have someone to rally against.
That's true. That's true. And one of them's going to nuke the other one.
Yeah.
Every religion has a devil.
Did you see Israel? The ambassador was asked if they had nukes. He goes, "So what?" Like, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny with that kind of stuff.
They have nothing on Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Jeff is a good one.
Wasn't Pepsi like the 10th most powerful military in the world at one point because they got Soviet submarines?
A really, really high. I don't know the number, but like, yeah, one of the most powerful naval forces in the world because the Soviet Union was like, our people love your product. We want to import like a shit fucking load of it, and then Pepsi was like, okay, give us money, and the Soviet Union were like, we're a bit low on rubles. So how about like 9 destroyers? And they were like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, they went back to the bartering system at one point.
Pretty much. And I think, if I remember though, they were like, thanks for the destroyers. Now, can you please take them apart and convert them to money?
The best part of the collapse of the Soviet Union was no, wait, I almost got the name wrong. No, it
was Gorbachev.
Gorbachev. It was Gorbachev appearing in a Pizza Hut commercial for Russia.
Communism has been defeated.
It's literally like the most like
so weird.
I just imagine like the capitalist god laughing with an evil smirk as the leader of the communist nation is forced to do a commercial in Russian saying things are bad, but at least we have pizza.
Well, the speed at which he collapsed the USSR, you might suspect that he might not be as socialist as he says he is.
Yeah. Well, in terms of Soviet leaders, wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Comparatively.
Comparatively,
Yeah,
he didn't start any new shit.
Like, literally,
He just
he opened he opened up what freedom of the press and like transparency of the government, and then the USSR immediately collapsed. It was like,
Yeah,
I think it
don't
was.
do that.
Wait, wasn't Kazakhstan the last country?
Yeah.
It was.
Kazakhstan was the Soviet Union for a little bit.
Yeah.
Kazakhstan SSR.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. USSR.
There is a government in exile who claims to be the USSR based on a technicality of like this treaty that was signed. Pretty much like the treaty to dissolve the USSR or whatever, like was signed by Boris Yeltsin or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was signed as president of Russia.
Oh.
But before he put the pen to that paper, president of Russia did not exist. So they argue that based on that technicality, the USSR is still a thing, and they are the rightful like government.
that's pretty good.
God, like, do you think Putin did this whole thing to like submit like a legacy, or like, because I don't know. Was he because back in 2014, people said he was trying to make USSR 2.
I think it was just more like, they're probably going to start making moves against me. Because that's what they did with Georgia, right? He's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they're going to start making moves against me. Let's invade Georgia. Invaded Georgia, and then invaded Ukraine once, and then invaded Ukraine twice.
Yeah.
Now we caught on to it 14 years later after Georgia got invaded.
Yeah,
We know
see
what
what
they're
you're
doing.
doing.
Slick bastard who ran under
Fool me once.
shame on you. Fool me twice.
Shame.
Yeah.
Can't fool me twice.
You can't fool me twice. that line in No Role Models goes really hard. You know the J. Cole song. He sampled George Bush. You have it.
You think I know who J. Cole is?
Yeah, because he's like talented and you have a good taste in music.
While that is
Craig's on his way.
Oh,
Jack, do you want like a beer?
Yeah, sure. What is there?
There's some in the mini fridge and there's like some in that fridge.
Fleed. All right.
I've heard whiskey and vinegar goes together really well.
Yeah.
Give it a bit of
Vom
a kick.
everywhere.
What was I gonna say? But yeah, no. Russian foreign policy is pretty much just governed by paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
That is the overwhelming like emotion because you have that big geography lesson. Pretty much like Russia's entire border with the rest of Europe is just a flat plain, which is really easy to invade, unless it's winter, as Napoleon and Hitler both learned the hard way.
And Putin as well, trying to invade Ukraine, and now his troops are bogged down, and freezing to death because they don't have winter gear.
It goes both ways.
It does.
Land wars in Asia are really bad.
But I mean, Putin was a KGB spy in Germany, so you can imagine the loyalty that guy has to the USSR. And he's probably just nostalgic for a time when Russia was, relevant.
I think he does have an ideological commitment to the USSR.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's true, but I don't think that the state itself has an ideological commitment at all, and I think that's the big problem, is that Putin has a commitment to the USSR, but no one else really does.
I think you're right on the money. Like Russia didn't really have an identity after it collapsed. It wasn't like the socialist leader of the world anymore. It's just like a backwater, shitty state capitalist country. Well, not even just capitalist country. Yeah,
because it was like, Russia's always been governed for pretty much all of its existence by some kind of ideological commitment to exist. Because it used to be like Third Rome. For the most of its history, it was the largest population and area-wise Christian country in the world.
Yeah, and
they were really Jesus.
It was also ever since the Khanites, it's also always been governed by a strong man for maybe even bordering close to 1,000 years. Russia's been controlled by a continually cycling,
pretty much
like monarchy, like an autocracy.
If you want a fun fact about empirical IR numbers and statistics, boys. The largest indicator whether your democracy is going to succeed or fail in most every country it's been studied is the percentage of your population that are ethnically Russian. The more Russians you have, the more your democracy will fail.
That's hilarious.
That's why Latvia's like always on the brink. It's like 25%. Latvia's the one about to fuck up despite being in the EU.
Dude, like the Eastern European not racism, like prejudice towards...
Sorry, I thought you were about to say race, and I was like, you mean Slavs? What?
No, the Eastern European like prejudice towards Russians is so interesting. Like it's like my Estonian friend hates Russians. Our Finnish friend hates Russians.
Yeah.
Like talking like in a way that you would hear like a old guy from the South talk about black people, where it's like, I don't want them to die, but I wouldn't want to live next to one. Shit like that.
Yeah, it's especially the Baltics and Finland, because like they did not want to be in the USSR, and then they were in the USSR.
Yeah, God.
So it's just automatic resentment.
Wait, no, Finland wasn't in the Soviet Union.
Finland was not in the Soviet Union, but it was pretty much a puppet state of Russia for a while.
Yeah, the border proximity.
Pretty much.
Because something I learned recently, thanks to Infographics, great YouTube channel, by the way, much larger than us, so this isn't really a shout out, more like a cock sucking. Infographics, like Helsinki. Helsinki. Helsinki is. I didn't realize it's so fucking close to St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
It's a major military pathway, and yeah.
But most Eastern Europe. Well, yeah, Eastern Europe is kind of split between their attitude to Russia. Like, you know, if you're Baltic, you don't like Russia, but if you're Serbian, you suck Russian cocks on the daily.
Serbia would be a part of Russia at the drop of a hat. They wouldn't.
For sure.
Yeah.
With no questions.
I watched this debate between a leftist streamer I watched, like a Serbian dude, and he was like justifying the genocide of the Albanians in the 90s. Like, well, they did this to us 150 like unironically 150 years ago, and they worked with the Nazis. And then the streamer was like, I don't care. Genocide is bad. And he was like, how dare NATO bomb us? And the Serbian guy was like making up numbers, like, yeah, we shot down so many NATO planes to do a peace treaty. Like, that's not what happens.
Yeah, I will give the Yugoslav remnants that. They have probably the longest collective memory of anyone ever.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
I'm sure
at least one of you, by the way.
I'm sure at least one of you is probably aware of the story of how one guy, like, facilitated the collapse of Yugoslavia.
Oh, could you elucidate me? I'm afraid I'm not familiar with this tale.
He brought he significantly accelerated and or brought the downfall of Yugoslavia by shoving a mason jar up his ass.
What? you Oh wait, you mean the one guy, one jar? Wait, what were the ripple effects of that video? I saw it when I was like 12 and gross.
I'll look this up for clarification, but skipping over a few details. Long story short, there was either a Serbian who like blamed it on a load of like Albanians, or like the other way around. And then that pretty much stoked ethnic tensions, and then the butterfly effect built up, and suddenly you have Yugoslav wars.
Wait, mean the one guy, one jar video where it's like
yeah.
Wait, no, that was in like, I thought that was made like.
No, the original one was
the original.
Old. But why was it in color? Oh, it's a. Wait, is this one where the jar breaks?
Hello.
Hey, where you at?
No. It is.
Come on over here, please.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
I'm putting into Google mason jar brings down.
I think you park in the handicap spot.
But no, I've heard about this too.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, so okay, bye-bye. See you soon. Okay, so you're telling me that the Serbians blamed the Albanians for a guy shoving a jar up his ass?
Yeah, I'm getting the scoop. But that's essentially how it goes.
We went down to 0 viewers when we. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Don't want to hear about the breakup of Yugoslavia due to that. I'm trying to remember.
The ripple effects that one person can have throughout history is really interesting to watch. Like,
yeah. It's pretty good.
Because like the Arab Spring was started by like a cop beating someone up in Tunisia, right?
It was it was a Tunisian man. I think the police just kind of shook down his little fruit stand, and he said "fuck it," and then he burned himself alive.
Yeah.
And then the entire Arab Spring happened. The Syrian civil war. We overthrew Gaddafi. All of that.
So like one overdramatic fruit vendor caused the deaths of. What is the death total for the Arab Spring? It's in the millions, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's in several millions now.
I mean,
sure.
technically still
happening.
increasing. Syrian civil war is still ongoing, which is
Yeah, I think that's. Is that the only one left, pretty much? Because I think everything else has been. We'll say solved. Put that in quotes here.
Yeah. The weirdest part was like American alt-leftist taking the side of Assad in the Syrian civil war. I mean, and saying the chemical attack was fake.
Yeah, it was a meme. I will say, in the Syrian civil war, like that's the best hope for changing anything is probably keeping the Assad regime there, because at least it's a government, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Instead of a coalition of people who don't know what they're doing. And due to the Syrian civil war, Assad is now very Kurd friendly. Here's your fun fact. He's like,
What?
all right, yeah,
That
he
is
is
the last thing
extra-
I expected.
yeah, he's extraordinarily Kurd
I'm gonna
friendly
fact check this
because the
somehow.
Kurds, what they do is they get they pushed out ISIS and all that, and they were like, all right, we'll keep it right here, because they were never really that bad to the Kurds per se,
Okay.
and so they were like, all right, possible federation, and that's what scared Turkey. Is when Assad said possible federation.
Oh, this is recent. I found an article from 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I was saying, no, I think that 2 or 3 years ago was when Turkey invaded.
Because no, he said, according to Reuters, that that says Kurdish-controlled northeast Syria must return to state authority.
Yeah, so that was the problem, like, return to the
But
state.
he expected it to happen gradually. He didn't say, like, we should...
But he did want to federalize it between, like, a Kurdish autonomous thing and that, which is why Turkey invaded Syria in the first place, because... They don't want the Kurds to have any kind of authority, because if the Kurds have an authority, then their Kurds do. Yada yada yada.
God damn, like, the fucking Trump withdrawal killed so many Kurds. Jesus Christ. Because we withdrew, then Turkey was like, well, time to go do a quick ethnic cleansing in northern Syria.
Yeah, but we don't want to piss Turkey off, because there are really only state besides Israel in the region likes us.
Yeah, like...
NATO.
Yeah.
For some
Okay.
fucking reason.
Yeah, we put them in NATO because we're like, oh, we could get some missiles really close
Yeah.
to Moscow. Yeah.
Yeah,
can
and
put
then,
nukes
And then they were
and
like,
then
They still
that
have
did not
nukes.
happen.
I believe. No,
Yeah.
they
did
still
it?
have nukes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
We still have some nukes there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, yeah, they didn't have the bullets.
Just in case.
Yeah. I
That's-
have.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have clarification on the Yugoslav Mason jars.
Oh, excellent.
The incident.
The incident.
That's the heading on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So on the 1st of May, 1985, Georgia Martinovic, a Serbian who is from Kosovo, arrived at a local hospital with a broken bottle wedged in his rectum. He claims that he had been attacked by 2 Albanian men while he was working in his field. And then as that built, tension between Serbs and Albanians kicked off, and then you have the breakup of Yugoslavia.
Like a powder keg, yeah.
Fucking Kosovans want their own goddamn country.
Yeah. Dua Lipa is now a citizen of Kosovo.
No, she is now a citizen of Albania.
Oh, fuck. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her family is from Kosovo, and then she got Albanian citizenship in this big ceremony because
And
and
she-
then
she-
she did a concert there.
It was like the last concert of her tour that she finished, and like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Which
So,
I would say Kosovans and Albanians, I think it's something like 80%, 70 or 80% plus of both of the countries say we should be one country.
Yeah.
And then,
Then Serbia was like,
bond
"No!"
shit like Serbia. Yeah.
Yeah. If you take a look at the progress of Serbian authority in Kosovo since 2008 when they declared independence, it's been going straight down.
Yeah.
If it continues like this, Kosovo are going to get more and more like autonomy and things like. They're not recognized by absolutely everyone, but they do function as their own country.
Yeah, and well,
more or less.
the Serbians have essentially been they're being pushed out of Kosovo. Kosovo.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing is
Yeah.
that the Serbians, the ethnic Serbians, probably need to leave before that happens because
I would agree.
Now
Yeah.
everyone knows because of Bosnia,
Yeah.
right? If you leave Serbians anywhere, then there's going to be war forever. There's still.
Yeah,
do you know how the
forever.
Bosnian political system works?
God.
It's a meme. It's like they have 3 different ethnic republics. There's like a little tiny Croatian one. There's
Yeah.
the big Bosnian one, which is like squiggly shaped.
Yeah,
the Serbian
exactly,
one,
yeah.
which is also squiggly shaped,
Yeah.
and they're like, so we don't blow each other up. We'll let you take turns being president.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it just goes through.
Yeah, there's a concept called like Novo Serbia or something,
Yeah.
which just means like New Serbia,
yeah.
and it's pretty much the existing borders of Serbia plus Kosovo plus like the Serb majority bits in like every country that Serbia borders.
Yeah, I love the fact that Croatia just take what coast does Croatia take?
Uh,
Because it like
yes,
curves
in the
down like a scythe.
Adriatic.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
yeah, and
It's
that's
pretty meaning.
it's really interesting because Croatia like used to own all of that coast, but they actually gave the Bosnians like one port city. So Croatia is actually like split because like you have the coastline, then it's a bit of Bosnia, then it's more Croatia. And
total-
Bosnia has this like one port city so that they can do trade.
It's a total of 4 kilometers, I believe.
That is
of
hilarious.
coastline, yeah, because they were really nice.
One thing I want to go back to because you said something that really struck me when you mentioned like Russia didn't really have like a national identity or belief. after collapse. I'm like what is America? I think America's having that problem now because we don't really have like what is our like because the freedom stuff doesn't really work anymore. Like people kind of like, and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan kind of killed it. Like there was like even when I was a kid and I learned like what 9/11 was, and I was like, oh, so we're fighting because they're planning to do another 9/11. Well, no, there's like a terrorist group there. I'm like, well, how's that fighting for our freedom? Then if we're not actively like trying to hurt us. It's like, yeah, like I think Americans need something to believe in.
I think the way that
not Christianity,
but I think the way that I think the way that the U.S. has done it for most of its history is in either it has to be by itself and just ignore everyone else, or it has to be in diametric opposition to something.
Yeah,
because it started as the diametric opposition to Britain of just middle finger up, we're going to support everyone who doesn't like you, and then they became friends.
Yes.
And then, Civil War happened. But then it's the period after the Civil War of just, we didn't talk to anyone, we just said, we're going to sit here and
we are America.
We're doctrine.
The pussy doctrine. And now, I think our position as like the world police is like I think if we were to push the rhetoric more and propaganda that we're like the arbiters of democracy across the world, that could be something to believe in, like I don't know, like a form of freedom. I don't know. What does Ireland believe in? Northern Ireland believe in?
Well, it just depends who you ask.
I was gonna say.
Split,
fuck yeah! No offense.
It's either fuck Britain or fuck the rest of Ireland, pretty much.
Hey, which one do you believe in?
Personal, yeah. Personal opinions. Is
Me simply, I'm built different. I want an independent Northern Ireland.
Chad. That's the most based opinion we've ever. The political chaos that would work. There would be two hard borders between the UK and.
Yep. We form an economic union with like Iceland or some bullshit. Like,
I want to see the Northern Ireland Island of Man union.
Between
those two, that'd be good. That's what
I love. I do like the Republic of Ireland's president a lot. I think he looks like a little elf or something.
Yeah,
like those two massive and like the massive dogs. The one dog now. The dogs he had.
He does not do anything to help us fight the leprechaun allegations. Let me show you a picture of this
he
guy.
looks like a quest giver in a children's like RPG. Like
images. Right. Look at this man. I'll try and get a full body photo.
Is there one like where he's compared to
other He's tiny.
Yeah, he's a very.
Look at this man.
Let me pull a photo up for the audience. It's on Joe Biden right now. Okay.
God.
So this is him. Man. This is him with Hosier, who you might have heard of.
Yeah.
And just look at the height difference. God. Unreal. But also his dogs are, oh my god, his dogs are fantastic. Canines, I mean.
Wait, what? Oh, you mean not his feet? Okay, his dog, his. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was giving a speech, and his dog was looking for attention.
Yeah, that one.
He was like giving a speech and like scratching the dog's head behind his back.
Yeah,
that's cute.
My god,
that's cute.
Unreal. But yeah, so he like I said, he doesn't do much to beat the leprechaun allegations.
Yeah, no,
look at the guy.
Yeah. What was he even talking about in that speech?
Fuck knows. Everyone was looking at the dog. But also, the role of president of Ireland is it's ceremonial.
Yeah.
It kills me to say it, but it's comparable to like the monarch of the UK, where you technically have the ability to vote down any law. But if you did, your office would be abolished immediately. You're just a figurehead, It's the prime minister who actually runs things.
Which I will say is weird for Americans. I think that's true for a lot of countries though, because our head of state and the head of government's the same person.
And most countries aren't like that.
Most countries are not like that.
Yeah. So like, I'm trying to remember what. Usually, what ends up happening for things like that is that anything that we would use the Department of State for, they end up doing the same thing. Like you have to, if you're a foreign country going to deal with them, you have to deal with the head of state or the Department of State or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is really the only role that they have.
I don't understand why England still has a monarch. And it's traditional, I know, but like the Queen or the King is never going to vote down a piece of legislation because he'll be overthrown if that happens. Yeah, because. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty much just because that, like, because it was historically there was never that critical mass of opposition to the monarchy needed to like overthrow it, because it's not something that can happen gradually. Like if the monarchy gets abolished in the UK, it's like it is like a wall you have to climb, and you need enough people to get over that wall.
Yeah. Well, the reason I bring this up, the Labour Party said if they were to win a majority, they would abolish the monarchy. Why would they announce that? That's not popular.
Well, the leader of the Labour Party at the time.
What's his name?
It was Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh, yeah.
He's resigned now.
Because he's went fucking insane.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, he was asked like whether he'd keep the monarchy, and then he gave this answer, which was like, we would look at it, which pretty much it's kind of dodging the question, but also hints that he would get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he didn't say it directly, but he made his intention clear.
And I will say, for monarchies at least, like, UK's not as much in the situation, because at the end of the day, it still really is an English monarch that, you know...
Yeah.
Pay fealty is not the right word, but it's essentially that, too, that it is still their monarch, and everyone else just kind of accepts it. That's how the system works.
It's cultural,
But, like, it does work in countries like Belgium, because the saying in Belgium is that you have 50% Flemish people, 50% Walloons, and one Belgian citizen, and that's the king. And that's the only reason they really still have it, is that the people in Flanders and people in Wallonia really don't like each other. But the fact that they still have a king, they're like, all right, we can agree on that. That's cool. Let's be a country.
Because...
I mean, monarchs are politically unifying as long as they can if they're a charismatic guy. Yeah.
I mean, the foundation of Belgium is really weird, because you have the French and the Dutch who can't stop poking each other and killing each other.
Yeah.
So then they were like, okay, we need a buffer state. What should the buffer state be consisted of? Yes, half French and half Dutch. This can only end well.
And then you get Leopold.
Yeah, and then you know,
best man ever.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can I talk about King Leopold for a second? So I took a whole class on Leopold in the Congo. He was a fucking loser. He wrote in his diary that he just really wanted another colony so he could be to appear to be as powerful as his cousins who were monarchs of other he was just I really want a colony.
He's a tiny little man.
A report said he got really upset when he couldn't get this one part of Africa, so he switched to the Congo and said it was for humanitarian reasons.
Yeah. There was some... I can't remember who it... God. Luande? No, I don't think it was Luande. I don't remember the name of the guy in the Congo who... He was, very anti-Belgium. This is, the 50s or the 60s, and the reason...
Lumumba.
Lumumba, that's what it was. Lumumba.
Yeah.
They returned... the Siege of Jadotville. I know.
Yeah, there you go. They returned his gold tooth, because, I don't know if you know what happened to him.
Oh, yeah, I did a whole project over him as well.
Oh, there you go. Well, they returned his
killed him.
gold tooth not too long ago, and there was one quote in there that really got me. When it comes to monarchy and colonialism stuff, there's one quote. They were just going around to different Congolese people and asking them, and they was like, "Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, it's sad that the guy died, but there was a Congolese guy saying that I do kind of miss Leopold because at the time we might have been run by a bad country." But that's when Congo was still run by a country instead of whatever it is now. It's fucked now, but some of the there's a lot of people in Africa you'll see that have been I don't want to say that they have nostalgia per se, but they can't seem to figure it out, so they're maybe Europe was the better option.
Well, because they've heard stories of this is when our country was stable.
Yeah,
that we need stability. We need to get back. The root causes of the unprecedented amount of violence in the Congo was really interesting for me to learn about. So I'm going to summarize this the best I can. So at the time, this is pre-World War One, just to give context for the viewers. Pre-World War One in Europe, especially for European noblemen, you would say, and anyone that's not essentially working class or dirt poor, you could gain social acumen by going to war, by fighting in battle, going to war, getting actually scars were seen as a cool thing to have. It's a war scar, and so a lot of these disaffected sons from Europe would volunteer to go to Congo to be part of the military force there. essentially because they wanted to go get some glory in an African country. There weren't any at this point. There weren't really any wars of conquest to be fought. A lot of the European powers had solidified their hold over their countries, and the armies were run by the government. But for Leopold, he essentially subcontracted his armies out. He did control them, but he wasn't micromanaging them. And so these fucking incel losers from Europe would just go to the Congo and go on murder sprees and fight local tribesmen to try to get glory in battle.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's also why the Spanish were so violent when they colonized South America. It was because Spain had a culture of had a war culture because of Reconquista. So it was expected for noblemen to go fight in the military and also get scars or some sort of wound or some sort of victory in order to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I did a whole mini lecture there. Just the subject I find really cool. The fact that like human psychology
It's
it has massive effects.
Yeah. The psychology of some world leaders is genuinely fascinating.
Yeah, totally.
It's mad, but is it because those types of people tend to get into positions of power, or is it the power that does it to people?
I don't know.
Bit of
That's
both.
true. Yeah, because that was a thing with the big study on Machiavellianism, is that people who
I need to read
display
that book.
really high... Well, yeah. Oh, you should read The
Count of
Prince. The
Monte
Prince
Cristo.
is... Oh,
Oh,
Count of Monte Cristo. What are you talking about?
Oh shit! Who's the main character in the Count of Monte Cristo? I think I may be uneducated about something.
Dude, the last time I read The Count of Monte Cristo was never...
I thought Machiavelli wrote.
No, Machiavelli wrote Il Principe. He wrote The Prince. Count of Monte Cristo is
Cristo
Dumas.
The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, Dumas
Oh
did
wait,
The
no,
Three Musketeers.
sorry. Whoops.
Dumas did do
He
Oh,
did
dude.
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo. It's like a revenge story.
Okay. Wait, who's the
It's-
main character in the Count of Monte Cristo?
Story takes place in France. Year of the
It's
Bourbon
like in
Restoration through the reign of Louis XVIII.
Yeah, yeah,
Wasn't
I-
he some nobleman?
Who's the?
It's
the
I've seen.
I thought Machiavelli.
Some guy called Edmund.
Shit, dude, I'm so dumb. I thought Machiavelli was the main character in the Count of Monte Cristo because okay, well in that case, can you please educate
No,
me?
Machiavelli is he is a what is that? Would it be 15th century Florentine political philosopher? I guess very very influential, mostly because he was the first person to say all right, take God, take shit you can't control, irrelevant.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it as XYZ. And
Yeah.
The Prince is the big one of if you're a prince, do this, you'll be good.
How long is
He
that
also
book?
have, it's very short. It's like 100.
Oh, I need to read
pages.
it. Yeah.
Discourses on Livy is a bit longer. It's a bit better for Republican stuff. But anyway, in The Prince, it's what you would think of almost sociopathic behavior for someone to do, especially in the modern times.
For personal gain. Yeah.
Personal gain, but there is a part in there where it's if you focus on personal gain, you will lose.
Okay.
Because if your ambition comes before the state, then the state will necessarily falter so that you can succeed. And if you succeed at the expense of the state, then the state will dislike you, like a people, essentially. Don't make the people mad is the big thing here. But
that's true.
most people go across, they ignore that. So Machiavellianism is just as the popular psychological phenomena, just being very almost to the point of lying and being deceptive to get what you want.
Yeah.
That's what it means in psychology. A bit different from the actual political philosophy here, but
Yeah.
people who are like that, very ambitious, very deceptive, they know what they want and they want to rule. Those people, the recent studies have shown that people who have that trait are way more likely to be successful, but they don't know if that is a innate behavior or a learned behavior. So they might start being successful and then say, how do I get more successful? I was gonna make fun of that you offered a beer 20 minutes ago.
No, do you know how long I've been because I finished my other drink 2 minutes ago, and I was just waiting for a break in the conversation to go.
I was thinking oh shit, maybe forgot, but I didn't interrupt you, so I just yeah.
All All right.
Like,
I will say, if you do have a chance to read Machiavelli at some point, it
I don't
is
think anything.
one of the most. Oh, I'm just going for ice.
Okay.
It is one of the most elucidative
I'll give you one, too.
reads you can have. I got free. You can have two.
I wonder if
You're
Curse
supposed
is
to lie.
different in this country than at home.
If what? Course? Maybe. Yeah.
Curse.
Course.
Curse.
Well, it's May here.
It's like a fucking medieval thing. You fucking cur.
I went to Denver, and from the city I could see the like 3 Rocky Mountain peaks that are on, like, you know, all Curse bottles. I saw them from a different angle, but it was those peaks. It's pretty cool.
Denver is, I think, in my opinion, the most beautiful city in America. Just because I know, like, I know it's rough around the edges, but the geographical layout is great because you're in a city, and if you look the right direction, you see the freaking Rocky Mountains, which is. You don't get that in a lot of other places, like a city right in front of them. At least in America, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so you have like the state capitol building, which is pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you have this like green sort of park area. Then you have a Greek amphitheater. Now, when we were there, that was occupied by a Christmas market.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't get to see the amphitheater properly. It was still very nice looking. And then behind the amphitheater, I was actually devastated we didn't get to go because it wasn't open when we were there. But you have one of the national mints.
Oh yeah,
Money,
I
and,
do know that.
The tours of the mint are free. Just so happened that it wasn't open when we were there, which was a bummer. I'm a bit of a currency nerd.
A numismatist, as it were.
Indeed.
COVID really fucked up Denver. It was really bad when I was there too with Fiona. Downtown was dead, and it was like Christmas season. Like it should have been filled with people shopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We Denver is a very nice looking city. It's very clean.
Hello.
Hey, come take a seat,
Hey,
guys.
Gronk. I said.
Passing away.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, no, it's a nice looking city. It's very clean.
There's a camping
It
chair.
snowed like a
Thanks.
foot, like before we got there, and they had that cleaned off the sidewalks and all the roads. It was really good. There was just no people.
Oh,
And I think I would love to be there when there's actual life about the place because it seems
Yeah.
like a great place to be.
for the viewers,
Yeah, is it?
for the
Do you know
viewers
if
at
it's-
home.
Wait, when'd you go?
Like a week, 2 weeks ago, week ago.
Oh, I was about to say it's probably recent. Yeah, it's really weird what places have returned to some sort of normalcy and what haven't.
Manhattan was still messed up last time I was there, so I'm hoping it's better this time around.
I hope
Yeah.
it's better. Yeah.
Nah, that's the thing too. Because I've heard it's okay. I have a friend who lives in. Where's Williamsburg? That's right outside of Manhattan.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Who lives there and said it was about the
With that
same
stuff,
as it
like
was
couch or
prior,
something.
but
Thanks, man.
we'll see. We
Yeah,
shall see.
I mean, did you hear that? We may have talked about this last week, but in New York, the New York mayor made an announcement a week ago. He said they're going to be involuntarily committing mentally ill people in the city.
What do you mean involuntarily committing?
So if you're like a crazy homeless man, the cops can arrest you and get you off the street just for being mentally unwell.
Which it depends.
Let me look up the actual law to be sure.
I'm gonna say that could be a very good or a very bad thing depending on the facility.
I'm going very bad because
if they put them in prison,
because they have said nothing about increasing funding. Let me check. New York mental.
Hello.
Oh, podcast viewers. Craig and Cindy are now here. They've been busy working their asses off, so I'm happy they can make it tonight.
I've been working the pole like a motherfucker.
So, okay, here's
it's a
the New
real
York Times.
occupation. Okay, that's all I'm
It
saying.
is.
Okay, so
My
apparently,
sister took pole dancing lessons. She actually did.
Wow. Where?
so
Dallas, I think. She's a professional dancer.
So now
okay.
these conversations.
Okay.
Okay, so in New York, over the course of last year, they
sure.
received more than
Looking sexy,
100,000 police calls related to emotionally disturbed person. So yes, and so Mayor Eric Adams announced on Tuesday that the city would give police officers more latitude to remove New Yorkers living on the streets or in the subways for immediate screening and treatment. Mayor Adams, do you guys mind to read some more of this, or should I just like skim it and then summarize it?
I do not mind.
Okay, so Mayor Adams has called the city's
we don't
mental
know
health
what it is.
crisis a major driver of crime in the subway. That's definitely true. but his announcement has raised questions about whether police officers who are not trained professionals should decide whether someone is mentally ill enough to force him to handcuffs and take him to the hospital. Yeah, this is going to lead to like, I mean, but I saw reactions to this on social media. Native New Yorkers are extremely happy about this. Some of the more like the activists are not happy, but it seems like the majority of people living in New York are totally content with this.
People don't like seeing homeless people.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Well, people don't like seeing something like that.
Well, because like the
like
homeless people
denigration
in
of the city.
like, you know, if you're like in a
The lemon tart.
here's,
I can't.
here's how you cut. So put the button here and just slice like a guillotine.
It doesn't look like it'll do it.
It'll do it. Actually,
but it will do
it's
it.
the best way.
It looks like this.
Like, let me just like hold it for you. Then you put it in. I'll cut it. Keep it even.
Shit.
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So I think it'll be interesting to see it because I went to New York a few summers ago with Tristan, and just so many homeless people in the subway. Oh my god! And they would like yell at you and stuff. Which, you know, me being a country boy, I'm not used to that.
That's mad. I remember being in LA, and like, yeah, there was homeless about, but if you ignored them, they ignored you. You know, they just let you go about your day. We didn't really get bothered at all. Although there was one guy, not sure if he was homeless because he was in a bit of a nicer neighborhood, but we did have an encounter with an authentic LA streets schizo.
Yeah,
A real one.
That was fun. He was just kind of ranting. So there was us three walking, and then there was a guy who was walking in front of us, and then there was a schizo guy. He had a sofa out in the street with a lot of stuff on it. So guy, like, he's just ranting to himself. Then he sees the guy that's walking in front of us, starts ranting at him. Like, doesn't even change his speed or even what he's ranting about. But
we only have two. No.
he just starts chatting shit. Guy ignores him, of course, and then he just like picks up something from the sofa and fucking chucks it at him.
Yeah, Christ.
I was thinking like, okay, and he missed, and we were like, holy shit, what the fuck? So we were just trying to keep our heads down, us tourists with our backpacks, and we just kept walking ahead like single file, and then he starts looking at us, ranting at us. Didn't even pay attention to what he said. Something about a stuffed animal, I don't know. And then we were walking past, and then he chugs like a plug at us, and luckily he missed, so it was funny. But if he had hit us,
that's
a different story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
dude. Yeah.
I think a lot of places are really different on homeless people because back home in Chicago, there's so Chicago is like
where they were Sid?
A glass.
just
clean glasses in the
unbelievably
dishwasher.
segregated.
Okay.
There are
Get to what's some
really
back?
Sounds great.
well, there's really three areas of Chicago. You have the black areas of Chicago, you have the Hispanic areas of Chicago, we'll call it Catholic areas, and then you have the white areas of Chicago. I'm from the Hispanic area / Catholic area, and it's like if you're from one of the different groups, no matter if you're you live there, you're in a fucking high rise wherever you are, or if you're a homeless person, you don't mess with people from the other side. So a lot of the black homeless people, they will like go out of their way to avoid you or not talk to you if they think you're from somewhere else. But if there's someone who's, let's say there's an Irish fellow who's homeless, then he would just go right up and talk to you like it's normal, like you're a regular person. Yeah. So there's quite a few homeless people there that I would just be walking around downtown, ignored by a lot of them. And then there'd be some blonde fellow who would just walk up and start talking to me. Not even ask for anything, just asking me just like, oh shit, dude, you into music? Or something along those, like...
Yeah.
It's really weird. It is very weird. Which... I don't know if that's true for a lot of cities, but the weird segregation agreement that there is in Chicago just boggles my mind that everyone maintains it.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah, it's supposed to make spherical ice, but it does not work.
Oh, we have one of those.
Use
skull-shaped ice.
If you want a fun little one, if you have larger glasses, use tennis ball holders.
Oh,
because it'll give you it'll give you really good ones for good glasses, and those are especially good for like those that you have right there. Just put one in there.
Nice.
It'll be solid. It won't. It'll take a long time to melt because it's just so big.
And if
Quite
you're drinking whiskey or whatever, is it a thing that like circular ice?
Hey, Craig, can you hand me that?
Well, I was about to say
Jack,
cube circular ice
Yeah.
hand me that
balls.
white bowl, please.
Like they like melt slower or something.
Because physics time for everyone, it's all based on surface area. So when you have
Surface
one very precise point that really goes into like a pyramidal triangle shape, there's a lot of surface area there. If you have a circle, a little sphere, then it's all over the place. It smells really slow.
It's the lowest surface area, like for its diameter of any like 3D shape or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Physics for you kids.
Yeah, back.
How do you like that lemon tart?
Is
What?
the flavor okay?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Okay, cool. I got a mild one.
Interesting.
Back to the subject. Like my friend who was with you in LA, but I don't want to like name drop her, was like really surprised and just like, because back in her home country, there were homeless people. They were typically like normal guys that essentially just chose to live on the street. I don't know why you would do that.
Interesting.
But they weren't as mentally ill as like American homeless people. Like she was surprised by like the disconnection from reality many homeless people
Yeah,
had.
it's mad,
Yeah,
like-
because like you can't. There's extreme mental illness.
Even
Okay.
even for me, like the homeless that you find in big American cities, there's just they're so different. Like the homeless ones that I find back home in the megapolis that is Belfast.
Yeah.
It's usually just folks who are like down on their luck and just like lost everything. They're just normal guys.
And they're just like,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? You don't find any crazies who are like screaming in the street or whatever,
There's
which
like-
we walk past.
There's like 5 dons that are pretty sweet homeless people in my hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from the one that fucking slashed me, so that's sick.
Yeah, like you were
Oh,
even
shit.
slashed by a homeless. That's an insane story. Like,
Yeah, well, not insane. It's just like, what the fuck, man?
yeah, no, it's like definitely not normal. It's not like that for me at least. Like, Arkansas is a pretty rural state,
Yeah.
so we don't have that many homeless people. Like, especially in my town, there's 0 because you just starve to death.
Yeah, or move to a bigger city.
Yeah, moved to. Yeah, I know LA is that problem because cities for the longest time would just like give homeless people Greyhound tickets to LA and just like get the fuck out of here.
Get out
Go to. It's warm there. You're not gonna freeze to death. Like Seattle and Chicago. I know those two for a fact would bust their homeless people to LA like purposely.
Yeah.
Just like get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Yeah, but I feel like with the cops being the arbiters of mental health in New York, that's not gonna be good. Like they're
Ew.
yeah.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's like, I can see if it's they can nab someone on the suspicion and then have it confirmed through someone else, I suppose.
That's
but
what
even,
they said they're gonna do, but
yeah, I can't really see that being, I can see them having a cursory thing.
can you give me a beer from the mini fridge while you're up, Jackie?
Yeah, I'll get you one from in here, mate.
Thanks.
Thanks, babe.
Bathroom.
But
Bathroom beer.
homeless people.
Ooh.
I would say I think the only homeless person that I really know personally, I don't remember her name, but she did live with us for a couple of days. It was someone from Austin, drove up here with her friend.
Well, does that make her homeless? If she stayed with you?
See, I thought about that too, but then I said, no, you're still going to be homeless because you're not staying here forever.
I like how
Because it was
cities.
my college dorm.
I like how cities started implementing the anti-gay homeless, the LGBT anti-homeless architecture.
The
It's like
fucking like spikes that are.
yeah, the rainbow-colored spikes, or like the bench that's meant for people with wheelchairs, where they just cut the bench in half and made the like where only one like you can only sit on it, the rest
Yeah,
is
they
like
put
wood.
that bar over it, of like they like make it like angular, so they can't, no human can sleep on it.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's like
with-
fuck, let them have the benches, like
Honestly,
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
so little, and it's just like, no, you can't sleep on a bench.
and yeah.
The fuck
God,
is that,
it's just
man?
like, and especially in America, we're the wealthiest country in the world. I don't know why some billionaire doesn't do like an ego project or something. Because the first thing I'm doing when I'm a billionaire, not if, I'm going to make a homeless army that are loyal to me because I'll give them houses and food and addiction treatment.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's-
Billionaires don't realize these days is that, you know, if you treat people with respect and actually do something for the people, you'll be revered throughout history.
Yeah,
as a
just
great
like,
person.
and you can be you can have the biggest ego on the planet, be an asshole to your people in your personal life, but if you just build schools for underprivileged kids, they'll put statues of you places.
There's in the 1500s, back in the olden days, in Germany, there was some guy, and I can't remember his name, but he built
Don't
this.
really like cigars, man.
He built this large apartment complex, like I think it could do like what 3,000 or something.
Yeah,
It was a
probably.
lot of fucking people for the 1500s in this one city. And he said like, all right, you can stay here with your entire families. If you stayed here, you can.
We're smoking cigars, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach, what's your opinion? Because like,
A light lemon tart would probably be fine. 'Cause
okay, as long as
we're eating big lemon
as
tarts.
long as
I
the
don't-
lemon, the only thing I care about is
Oh.
as long as the lemon tart won't stain the ceiling, I don't care because I will have to move out of here soon. So you think like
These lemon tarts are much more. Would leave a much higher residue
Yeah.
on surfaces that the lemon tarts are around.
Yeah.
okay, I see. Well, in that case, well, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
what I was
No,
thinking.
no, no,
Like,
Yeah, I was
what
gonna
you
say.
mean this tiny little thing is filled with the same
Yeah,
stuff.
these
Oh.
lemon tarts will also turn everything yellow.
Oh, really?
Eventually,
I didn't know that.
it's a long time.
Well, we don't do.
I have
we don't do
No,
nearly
it's
all.
over a
I've
span of
known
time.
people
Yeah.
with a lemon tart room where they consume lemon tarts regularly, and
Yeah.
it's over like a long period.
because
of
like
time.
There's a reason why every single wallpaper and piece of furniture in
like
the
it's you're
80s
totally
was like
good. Sorry, I'm not trying, I wasn't trying to be a
beige palette,
dick. I
you know?
had a misconception.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But anyway, though, there's this one apartment complex built in the 1500s where an entire family could live there, and it was one. I think there were guilders at the time in whatever HRE kingdom this one. They used guilders. One family could live there for one guilder, and then that guy would try and provide them with a job. And they kept it up to the day, to today, where you would have to pay €1 for your entire family to live here for a year, and they still provide you with jobs.
Well, that's
It's
a
still
very
thing in
good
Germany.
thing. That's
Which is, yeah, just like really cheap housing, and then you get in contact with people who might have a job opportunity for you, and yada yada. You move back up. The housing's really cheap, so someone has to, subsidize the whole fucking thing. But it's still essentially a private thing, and I think the whoever this guy is, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's still revered over there
Yeah.
for being a fucking mensch, because he was. He was a
Hello,
good guy.
Catherine. Don't have FOMO.
Catherine,
We wish you were
I
here.
miss you. Please
Who?
come home.
Catherine.
Who?
I think I have.
I don't know.
What do you mean, who?
It's tasty.
Product of Italy.
It's funny, isn't it?
Oh, Catherine.
Oh, I like
Just
that.
kidding. Glad you're here, Catherine.
You know, it's actually really funny.
Wish you were
There's
here,
this,
Catherine.
there's this
Catherine.
Wish you were
beer in
here
Ireland, it's
eating
called
lemon
Mark.
tarts with us.
Yes,
It's marketed
yummy
as
lemon
being like
tarts.
Northern Irish beer.
Yeah.
Like all of the advertisements,
I
like,
think
the
it's a pretty
tagline
good
is like
lemon
pure.
tart.
I like lemon
Yeah.
tarts.
Beer meaning like
Yeah.
Northern Ireland. and it's,
I
like,
personally enjoy
made
them a
with
lot.
like
Mhm.
the air of a night out in Belfast, shavings from like this iconic like
Shavings from a
whatever.
doner
Yeah.
kebab.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and it's marketed as being like pure here, pure Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And then I worked in a liquor store, and I took a look at the box once, and I took a look at where it's made, and it's like brewed in Dublin. It's like right, okay, pure
Yeah.
here, is it?
I thought
okay.
Asahi would be
Whoops.
like would be brewed in Japan. I didn't know it was brewed in Italy.
That's the goofy. I saw
Yeah,
that
I
yesterday when we were
noticed-
playing. No, the day before when we were playing D&D. I saw product of Italy.
Yeah,
I know it's because
it's
like I drink Kirin. That's from Japan. It's like product of Japan.
Dude,
Yeah.
Kieran,
I had a half pint of Kirin once, not bad.
That's
I'm not
a
a
darn
beer
good beer.
Kieran, I have a personal attachment towards, and we're gonna go back to China because that's all I fucking talk about. But where I lived in my shitty working class neighborhood of Jinding, if you ever want to go there, has a special beer that they brew for that particular neighborhood called Haiju, which is owned by Kirin, and so it tastes relatively similar to a Kirin. But it was just so fucking cheap. It was, I think, 4 RMB for what?
Zach is talking
2/3
about
of a
China.
liter.
I'm leaving
that's
now.
like that's like 3 cents. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a it was what 660 milliliter beer, and so every day I'd go and I'd pick up 2 of them, and then that's what I would go home and drink because it has like what maybe 0.5% alcohol content because it's shitty Chinese beer, but delicious.
Yeah, it is delicious. Yeah.
And that was my like going home after a hard day and going,
Oh, you ever have a Tsingtao?
oh, Qingdao, dude,
Yeah.
I have drank
They
so much
slap
Qingdao.
so
Oh
good.
my
Yeah.
god, Tsingtao is Qingdao, but like, oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never made
So-
that connection.
Tsing Tao
Very
is the old
interesting.
Wade
The
Giles,
old
the Wade
Yeah.
Giles transcription of Qingdao, like the
Oh
saying
my
Qingdao.
god, I never made that connection.
We are
Yeah.
learning so much on this
Which-
pod today.
Yeah, like it's the same way. Like you can see Chairman Mao written as Zedong or Zedong. It's just
Now
a different.
Zedong.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
a different
really weird.
romanization.
Yeah,
I see.
and I will say that Qingdao is the beer that I realized the closer you are to the source, the better it is.
Oh, like
Because
Guinness, yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like it was okay where I was in China. I had it on draft in Shanghai. That was the best beer I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It was
Do they?
unimaginably good.
I don't know if this is a Chinese beer, but Happy Buddha, the one that's like in a bowl that's shaped like Buddha. It's so funny. It's so cool. I kept.
I would say I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I got it at fucking Wagamama's. I kept the box. It looks sick. Wagamama's is like a British Chinese food chain.
Ah.
Slaps.
Oh yeah, I realize you guys don't have that here.
No, we got like
Wagamama's
fucking-
is a cultural institution.
It really is. I fucking love it. We don't even have any in Cornwall, so I had to travel up to London to try it out.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It is so good.
Okay. I'll remember that next time I go to the United Kingdom.
Which is never, because I hate you guys.
Goddamn right. We got our independence. Okay.
we beat you
200 years ago.
It's 1700, so you know we're superior. It's like muskets.
It's about to be. Hold on. In 4 years, it's about to be a quarter millennia. Think about that.
Wow, wait.
Yeah.
Whoa.
When we kicked your ass.
Wow.
Thank you
less
very
than
much.
250 years of history.
It was the English equivalent of
Go,
Vietnam.
go back to Vietnam, guys.
Because-
Let's see how that goes.
No, because for the Revolutionary War. Oh, sorry.
Vietnam is the second most pro-American country in the world. If you ask them if they have positive opinions, I think it's
Isn't-
like 80-something%.
Isn't the Vietnamese word for America like dickheads or some bullshit? Like,
Oh, I
it's like
don't know.
evil
But-
empire.
But because see, Vietnam, like China, has a very long cultural memory, and when you take their the percentage of time they spent being invaded by China,
Yeah.
Thailand, everyone else essentially, the 10 years. How long were we in Vietnam? Like it was 60. Was it 69 to 76?
No, it was 76 when we left. It was like mid-60s. It was
like-
right when Lyndon Johnson made like 65
Let's
maybe.
call it 65. Like the 11 years we were there is nothing compared to like the hundreds of years China occupied Vietnam. And then after we left, China was like, time to go back in because you guys are stopping the genocide in Cambodia.
Yeah, that's the
We
thing
can't
is
have
that
you be doing that.
that
Right.
was they were the good guys by far in that one.
Yeah, the Vietnamese heroes going in to stop.
It was like, all right, you have to stop murdering people who wear glasses.
What the fucking like the Khmer Rouge is
funny.
the most insane genocide. Like there was no logic behind it at all. It's just like he wore it was caveman logic. He wore glasses. He's smart, big threat to me. Smart people bad.
Good job.
Yeah. God. Enough about. We talked this on at IHOP on Saturday. I think we mentioned Liver King on the pod before. He was busted by Derek from More Plates, More Dates for just using an insane amount of steroids.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to the point he was spending $12,000 a month on performance enhancing steroids.
Jeez.
He was doing more than most strongmen and bodybuilders do. Let me look it up.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's like the biggest thing in there is the gut. If you look at the gut, you can usually tell if someone's on roids or not, because the muscle gut
Yeah.
is not something you have enough time in the fucking day to develop naturally.
Well, that's not. Well, it's actually what I read because of this. That gut is
Love that.
he's a super hard worker. He's super athletic, obviously. But the reason the gut bulges out like that on guys, it's because organs like the liver and I think another organ actually increase in size, so it's physically pushing your muscles out.
Yeah.
And that's not reversible. It just stays that way. That's why these guys all die at like 50.
Which
I want to see if I can find like a. So the
Quick death.
yeah, and so the fucking and so the guy he got these leaked emails,
just
and I'm trying
American.
to see.
That's like the average
so-
age of man lives here.
Let's see what he says. I mean, his apology was really bad. I don't know if you guys care about that. He said
It's probably me.
he basically said I use steroids, but it's only because men killed themselves or something like that.
What?
Yeah, no, it made no sense. Like,
Good man.
Like
Good
the
man.
way he delivered it as well, he was like, and I promised I would never ever touch anything like that in my entire life, and then he let it hang for a minute and goes, "That was a lie."
But I did.
yeah, he should have done that. Well, he's essentially making up. I think $100 million in 1 year just from lying to people and saying if you buy my supplement and eat raw bison liver every day, you'll look like me.
Yeah.
Which is
He charged like $127 for the supplements.
Yeah, exactly. No,
It's like, oh, why would you lie?
Suspicious knowledge there.
No,
Craig.
he's a fucking. Craig, you love raw meat
I
lately.
get
know.
it now.
Yeah, but I also bought the steroids as well because I was in unbelief. I DM'd him. He was like, "Yeah, I actually do take steroids." So
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
I really respect influencers that are honest with their steroid
So
use.
that's why I
'cause-
saw you with a belt around your arm. The other day. See?
well, no, it's on your arm. It's in your ass. It's like,
I thought you were doing heroin.
yeah.
No, guys. This is
No,
don't worry.
It's the good needle drug.
Okay, so apparently, I can't find the name of the drug, but it said he was using like, it's like the International Liquid Measurement Unit for medicine. I think it might be cc's. Yeah, it's the cc's. So Derek did a breakdown. So most bodybuilders, for example, the week before competition, will up their use from like 1 cc every other day to 2 cc's a day of the shit he was doing to look so the muscles look absolutely huge.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing competitions. He was doing 5 cc's a day of HGH and other stuff, which is like insane, like HGH and tren, I think.
Yeah.
Typical bodybuilder stuff. And yeah, like I don't think he's gonna live that long. Like his liver's gonna be turning to stone at one point.
I would say testosterone kills you. At
Yeah,
the end of the day, that's
yeah.
why men live significantly a shorter lives than women do.
Interesting.
yeah,
Which is also why we go bald.
yeah. Too much testosterone makes you go bald, and not enough also makes you go bald. If I'm not mistaken, it's weird.
like that. I don't know.
Um,
Let's go.
Have you seen those jokes? It's like, gym lads escaping from like the trans guy's house with like vials of testosterone.
yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah, I don't know if that testosterone will get you big, because I thought about that of like, if I say I'm a woman who wants to be a man, can I get free broids?
I think it has to be a certain type of test.
It probably
Yeah.
does. But to be fair, most people who transition to a man, they get relatively good muscle development. Like,
like there's this one.
Elliot Page, despite being, like 40 something? I don't know.
She's
40?
There's
Oh,
no
no
way.
way.
There's no way he's 40.
When did Juno come out? Juno came out like early 2000s, right?
Well, that was 2011.
February.
I'll look that up. I'm actually, I don't know.
For the longest time.
35 years. Holy shit! What the fuck?
What the hell?
Whoa! Wow.
And,
What's this?
Elliot Page is 35 years old. We did.
That's what a Hollywood career does to you, I guess.
Yeah.
turns into
Well,
man.
yeah. How many things has Elliot Page been in? Juno?
That one.
How many things has Elliot Page been in as a man?
None.
None?
That's why.
None?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
they were in some?
Umbrella Academy and something else.
Oh.
Still presented as a woman, though.
Oh,
Really?
Really?
Oh, I didn't know. I
Oh,
don't watch
I
Umbrella
missed
Academy.
Yeah, like during
guess it's
Umbrella Academy, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm going through a thing, and I've transitioned into a man."
Interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
Which that does bring up the at least this is what interests me about Elliot Page here is the question of like retroactive identity, because Elliot's had a problem. They're still referring to Elliot Page in all the movies had been in as Ellen Page.
Yeah,
when
because-
it was a woman.
That's how it
But
was
I was
credited
like,
back then.
Because it's already printed, like they're not going to go back
you
and
can't
change.
change
Like,
it. Like,
yeah.
you
like
can't go
like
back.
that's literally copyright. That's why
the
it's
identity they went by at that time. So.
Oh no!
but that's the thing though. The problem with it that people complain about now is that
Do you not like this?
it's not something that happens per se, but something that has always been and only recently done it for. Because I've known they've tried to do that with the Matrixes.
Oh,
The Wachowski brothers
sister.
are now
The
the
Wachowski
Wachowski sisters,
It's
Yeah.
but it's still
crazy how they both transitioned.
Yeah, that I don't even know.
I think I don't.
are they
I-
twins or
I
are they
don't-
not?
no,
They
they're
look
just-
different.
They're just siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't okay. People clown on me for this, but I've never watched a full Matrix film, so I don't
No,
actually
you're
know.
fine.
I've only watched the first one.
The only
But-
good one is the first one.
For someone's birthday, we watched all of them, and the first one I thought was like too deep for you bait. The second one was fun, so I was able to get behind it. The third one was ass.
The interstate scene in the second one's one of the best scenes in in the Matrix Revolution, where they're on the interstate having to sit car chase.
Yeah.
It's still fun
Yeah,
to watch now.
good.
It's
good.
really
The weird twins just like
the ghost
phase
the
into
ghost
a car.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
That shit.
I thought that was cool shit.
That shit went hard, and the fact
And-
it was pre CGI. No,
Yeah.
no, they used CGI.
Wow.
They used
It was pre CGI. They just did that. That was
My-
crazy.
Oh yeah, they found two actual ghosts, two white guys with dreads.
The
no,
Wachowskis proved
well,
we
they-
are in the Matrix. They can just code
they
this
built
shit.
an interstate
Yeah.
to make that scene. They built a road, which I think
is
was
like,
actually
holy shit.
repurposed by the city as an actual road after they were done filming. Which
That's mad.
cool. Oh, it's like the end of Eraser, where they blow up that bridge. And that's a bridge they're going to demolish. It's an actual bridge they're going to demolish anyway, so it's literally miles long.
You can do anything with a film license.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's, like even in I don't know if you guys saw
his
this in
name?
LA because you guys probably don't give a shit, but I give a shit. Have you ever seen Intolerance?
I've
No.
not.
It came out in 1906, so I am assuming you haven't. But it's by the no, not 1916. Sorry, it's
that
by
old fucking hell, man.
yeah, by D.W. Griffith. Birth of a Nation, for those of you who
Oh,
don't know.
Christ.
It is one of the best films ever made, and for one of the stories in there was in Babylon. And so what D.W. Griffith did is he bought some shitty land in the middle of L.A. and said, I'm going to build a Babylonian city. And the city still doesn't know what to do with it. So in the middle of L.A., but L.A. was small at the time, and then L.A. got really big. So in the middle of L.A., there is this ancient Babylonian city still built there.
That's mad.
Yeah, which is some of the coolest shit.
I actually looked up pictures of Babylon once. It's really small. Like what was considered a city back then. It's just like it's barely a
Yeah,
village
because-
by today's
if I
standards.
remember, like-
because anywhere outside of China, a city's like a few thousand people in the ancient
Essentially
world.
Slough.
Which I would say, I think isn't most of what was Babylon in the Green Zone in Iraq?
I think
do
so. I
not
believe
know.
so. I don't.
I know that
yeah.
Assad's residence like overlooks the ruins of Babylon, which is pretty cool.
You mean Saddam?
Saddam, it's the same.
Don't mess
thing.
up my boy's
Assad,
name.
Saddam,
Sorry.
Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Dude, Gaddafi's death was insane.
Isn't it Gaddafi?
Gaddafi.
Same thing. Same thing.
Gaddafi. Like, yes,
Yeah,
he got
Dave
stabbed.
speaks Libyan Arabic, not the standard modern Arabic. Okay.
I remember being like a kid. I think I was like 9 or 10 when I saw his like ass stabbing video on the internet.
Oh yes, unfettered
when he was
access, the age of
captured
13.
when he was captured by the rebels, they stabbed him in the
14, I
asshole with a
remember this.
knife.
It's
That no, like there's a video like
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah,
Why
it's
have I just learned about
fucked.
it?
no, it's
Dude.
and he was killed by like he was like on stop me if I'm wrong. He was like on top draped over a vehicle essentially. Then someone shot him from a distance. So
it's
But-
So they
horrendous.
stabbed
It's
him
bad.
after he was dead.
no, they stabbed
No,
him.
he's
as They were
alive.
stabbing his
Like
asshole while he was
he
still
got
alive.
shot, and then he's like sitting. He can't move essentially because
yeah.
he just got shot with a gun.
Yeah.
So and then they're fucking with his body for a long time. It's bad.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, he was a dictator. And
He was a bad dude.
Guess whose lawn he stayed on when he visited New York, the United Nations in New York City?
Actually,
Trump's. Yeah. He was killed in 2000
So
and
2011 or 2012.
yeah,
It was very quickly after the Arab Spring.
This was recent then.
yeah, relatively very recent. It destabilized the entire region
Wow.
because dictators are good for stability.
Libya has like suspiciously good relations with Ireland because the
Know your masters.
yeah because
Gaddafi's useless. Take him out.
the IRA in the later years like got most of their guns from Libya.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was from Germany at the start. Like this is like sort of like early 1900s when the Kaiser was still a thing. Got them from Germany, and then started getting them from Libya. So there's suspiciously good like it's really weird when you look at like the
I'm having a
like
good time.
like during World War II. The majority of the cabinet of the Republic of Ireland, like the governmental cabinet, was like okay. Ireland was officially neutral. Because the leader was like neutral, but like the cabinet was like really good friends with Germany and like ridiculously anti-Semitic. It was unreal. Like the amount of sort of like Nazi sympathizers in Ireland in like the 30s was just insane.
Oh yeah, because they were neutral in the Second World War. I just remembered. Yeah.
Yeah, they were neutral. They were like, so the guy who ran things at the time, like he was like official neutrality and all that stuff, but like most of his cabinet was just like pro-Hitler. It was mad.
Yeah, that's. Sorry, we're talking about like weird historical shit. This got me thinking about it. So during the Battle of Fallujah in Iraq, U.S. forces were actually to fight against fucking Chechens. Yeah, Chechens. Yeah, because the Chechens were like something with like Russia, and like they were against Russia. So therefore, with Al Qaeda, that was with the group that was there.
Yeah, Chechnya is mostly Muslim.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. So it actually that's the reason they're the reasons why we suffered so many casualties in that city, because we were expecting to fight insurgents, not like trained essentially like militant members.
Yeah, because they were. I'm trying to remember. That would have been after the Second Chechen War.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
what-
means
yeah,
that
yeah,
it was
so-
the people who were. God,
They were like they fought against Russia, and they were like I
Yeah.
think went to establish their own place in in near Fallujah, and they were there, and it's like God. And now like half the Chechens are fighting like the Chechen rebels that we fought against in Fallujah. The same group is now fighting with Ukraine against Russia.
Yeah, because they want their own country.
They really
Pretty
do.
bad.
Indeed. They're like, if you take a look at like the Siberian portion of Russia and even the portions of Russia that are like close to like the Caucasus, a lot of them have their own like distinct identity, and they're given like a shitload of autonomy, as much as Putin really gives.
Like
But,
the autonomous Jewish nation.
Yeah, there's an autonomous Jewish. I
like
can't remember.
oblast, like not nation.
So yeah,
oblast.
Russia has like oblasts, okrugs, and krals,
Yeah.
which are like very slightly different.
Yeah,
They're pretty much the same.
But they're pretty much just like autonomous regions. Yes, man. It's like there's a Mongol, like ethnic Mongol area called Tanu Tuva,
yeah.
who like if you've ever played Hearts of Iron 4, you will know about
I
Tanu Tuva.
don't play Hearts of Iron 4, so everyone that does thinks they're like a military expert.
But yeah, they functioned as their own country for like a lot of the 40s, and like they were only recognized by Russia and like Mongolia, I think.
Yeah.
And it's mad, just the distinct sort of identity that like pretty much all of Siberia has. The only like ethnic Russian part of Siberia is like in the Far East, like Vladivostok.
Yeah.
And like, you know, those sort of places. But like in the middle, it's mostly just like Mongols. Pretty much, it's mad.
Pretty much.
But yeah.
I've really fucking loved talking about history with you guys. It's really
History's fun. I like
Yeah.
history.
It's really cool because it's intertwined with politics completely. It's like in the grad school I'm looking at, their history and politics program is the same. It's like
What grad
Yeah.
school are you looking at?
it looks like Graz.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well,
Okay.
They have an English program, yeah. So
I've never been like a huge history
Or at
guy.
least
I mean,
suburbs.
it's interesting. I've just never like taken the initiative to learn about it. So
Yeah, yeah.
every time I'm on this podcast, I learn a little bit. It's a learning podcast just for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of cool. I think about this, like the people back then that we, essentially, like when, like at a certain point after as time goes on, people kind of lose their agency a bit. They just become like, part of history. They kind of get absorbed in the greater weave of history. But it's cool to think that people like all of us were like the driving forces behind decisions that still have ripple effects today.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's humbling and hopeful. It's like because a lot of people get discouraged, like, oh, I'll never be as important as this guy was. It's like, no, you can totally be that way. Like, you don't know the effects that your actions are going to have.
Yeah, that's a noble reason to be into history. Me personally, I'm into it so I can be racist more accurately.
Oh, of course, that's my second thing. It's
Me too.
it's like, have you memorized all the white sub races? Of course. Like, personally, I forgot. It was on some guy's dating profile. It's like the
Go ahead.
Atlanto Mediterranean or something.
Oh yeah.
Mediterranean. Yeah. Wait, let me look up like the white sub race wiki.
I know that was a thing.
It is a wiki.
This is an incredibly niche.
Yeah, it's like
What the heck?
Yeah, let me just flex on y'all right now. This is my drawing.
Oh, hello.
wait, Cass.
It's so good.
Hello.
Yeah,
This
Is it
man can
rectangles?
draw.
it is a
This
lot.
man
It's
is like
fucking
Picasso.
rectangles. All these goddamn books were a fucking nightmare to draw.
I was
Have
about
you,
to
okay,
say,
so has there ever been a time
Stunning.
where you partially finish the drawing, go away, come back, and then books have moved?
Yeah,
You say, fuck,
I
what do
just drew
do?
them as
That's pretty good.
books. I wasn't accurate.
That looks fucking amazing, man.
Hell
pretty
yeah,
good.
bros. And I was never a fucking drawer either, so this is all from beginner drawing as well. So I'm proud of myself.
Dude, good job, man.
Yeah.
I really wish I had some more artistic talent. I'm trying to learn how to 3D model.
See,
You should take a
I
class.
admire anyone who can
I'm
do
done
like
with school.
shading.
No, you can take
Like,
classes somewhere
look at the
else.
difference in like
Not a
where,
bad
where the
idea.
light is hitting
Yeah.
that bit of floor.
Like
Yeah.
Like,
yoga.
I could never accomplish that.
People do yoga
That
and
is
that's
impressing me
I'm not doing
immensely.
yoga.
No,
very much,
but
my
the
good
3D
sir.
printing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm well chuffed
Yeah,
with it.
or pole
Yeah.
dancing.
Thanks,
We should
man.
all take a
Pole
pole
dancing.
dancing class.
It's
Pole
hard.
dancing.
I would like. I know they make it look so easy,
Pull
and I
me
wish I
closer.
could do that.
You need ridiculous
Maybe-
core strength for that. It's unreal.
Yeah,
I know,
no,
well,
it's
your
bad.
upper
like,
body strength has to
when-
be
when-
like ridiculous.
When we went to the strip club, I was like looking at the girls, not for sexual reasons. I was admiring their
oh, who
musculature.
else goes to the strip club? For
Dude,
other-
Yeah, I
dude.
was looking at that muscle definition.
No,
you know?
dude, like
It's insane,
most
I
of the
will
girls,
say.
most of the girls had like visible abs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of them did.
You
Like,
actually need them.
and I was thinking like, I was starting to think like typical man thoughts. Like, how many of them could I take in the fight? Could I take in a fight? And I was thinking like, with how much, I think I can only take like four max, because like like they're.
WrestleMania style.
No, they have such good cardio.
Yeah.
Like they'd probably be able to like exhaust me, or like just like do like the I don't know. I think they could break my neck with their thighs or something, just because they can hold themselves up upside down with just their knees, which is
Yeah, which is true.
yeah, like the
I
way
do
they, like,
remember the
climb
one
to the top and
climb to the
hang.
top
yeah.
to hang.
Yeah, like doing nothing
Oh my
sexual,
God.
essentially just showing off.
Just that she could do that. That was just
Yeah, go
whack.
Must
I
be
like
a
your
woman.
cup.
Thank you. I don't know what it is.
Why don't
Oh,
you read it
that's,
out
ain't that
loud?
swell? And so the adventure begins. Congrats, Catherine.
Yeah.
Class of 2021.
How'd that cup get here?
I should even notice that was the one I
She
picked.
just
Ain't
finds her
that
way back
something?
over here somehow.
Inserts them wherever she can. I'm gonna
Yes.
end
She
up
likes
back in
to
England.
mark
It's
her
gonna be one in the
place.
cupboard already. I'm like, how the fuck that get there?
Yeah.
The amount of
Horrifying.
like
Catherine.
commemorative, well, not commemorative, but the amount of like shot
Step back
glasses
again.
I plan to bring
thirsty.
home from this country.
Yeah,
I have an Arkansas
Catherine
one.
said
I
she
almost
misses
bought a
you.
Miss
Tennessee
you too,
one.
Catherine.
I should have bought a Tennessee
Absolutely.
one.
But
Yeah,
did
I
you get
Yeah.
the Jack Daniels one?
I do not know
I have
why I
extra
didn't.
from the Jack Factory.
No,
The Jack
I got
Factory,
a
my
free,
home.
I got a free Jack Daniels
Yeah.
one, so you can have that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
The
brother.
brewery, the Jack Daniels breweries.
I got a really nice one though. It's like
Oh, you-
cut glass. as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like
Like-
angular.
The only reason I didn't bring one back from Denver was because I was worried about like fitting it in my bag because we were traveling light, and the only reason I didn't bring one back from LA was because it costs half of the mortgage on my house.
And you were traveling Frontier as well.
I was traveling Frontier.
Fuck,
Oh,
dude!
God.
Like when you were in LA, I got an article buzz on my
What?
phone.
Hang on, half the mortgage on your house, half of zero is zero, bro.
What?
That's pretty
Implying that my parents have the house paid off.
Oh, I thought like you pay for the house.
No.
It's not your fucking house, then.
Yeah. Oh, imagine
You
it.
don't be paying no damn bills to be slamming doors in my house.
Stop that.
It was 2
Sorry,
seconds
that's a-
ago.
Good
Occasionally, my parents will send me to the shop for milk, and they don't pay me back, and that is what I contribute
To the
household.
mortgage, yeah.
That's what I contribute to the household.
Me
They
too.
actually. So when I got my first job, and this happened to my brother as well, and like my parents went through this. They started charging me like housekeeping, which is just like put like 5 like a week. In
Oh,
the,
that's
like, little,
that's not bad.
in the like wine glass that we hold like a load of money in, just as like housekeeping is like just a little bit to have.
Yeah.
And then I went a bit without a job, so they stopped taxing me. Then I got another job, and they just never got around to taxing me again. So I kind of got away like I I owe my parents hundreds in housekeeping.
I mean, we all owe our parents hundreds in housekeeping, but my parents got this thing where if I'm still in education, I don't have to pay any rent for anything.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
my 2 brothers are already paying like a bunch of money for rent and shit. It's just like, hell yeah, losers. Me taking
Fucking
gap years and
idiots.
shit.
Taking gap years, going to grad
Exactly.
school,
Yeah,
just
me-
infinite educate.
Me and my brother haven't figured out we're going to be eternal students because I've taken this year in America and then I'm going to go back. I'm thinking of changing my major, which will set me back to the start. It will give me an opportunity.
Free college, having ass,
And
fuck you.
It'll give me an opportunity for another year abroad in Europe, and then just being the eternal student. My brother, he got his bachelor's, got his master's, and he's now doing a part-time PhD, which is going to take him 6 years, and he's going to be
Oh my
in college.
God.
He's going to be in university until he's like 30
That's hilarious.
because of this part-time PhD.
That's good. That's good.
I mean,
Never heard
I
of that.
am,
That's good.
I'm excited to see where life takes me after college. I need to get away from this place because I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna feel envious. I'm no longer part of the college experience, but I just need to like go somewhere else and
Yeah,
get my own social
You
group.
need to go places. I encourage you if you have the means.
Yeah,
Go places while you can.
I mean, going to
because-
Graz isn't a bad idea.
You
Like,
can go
good,
see
yeah.
all
Because
the
Yeah.
you're gonna settle down at one point. You
Yeah.
have a
I mean,
limited time.
like,
I'm going to New York Stag now, so
yeah,
I'm going to see how many fucking New York people and just go, hey, how you doing? Hey,
My
I'm
name's
from the
Greg."
fucking Bronx. How you doing?
you.
Stabbed
Yeah, exactly.
immediately.
Oh, just London style, you know. It's just a cultural greeting.
Just like home.
Just like home. Just like London, because I'm bleeding out, you know. Now, I'm trying to get slashed by a New York homeless man. I'm gonna get slashed by a homeless man
Well-
from each state.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're not
I
gonna see them
believe you.
anymore.
Oh, yeah, they won't be
They
out
took them
there.
off the street.
Oh goddamn.
They put them all in the
Yay.
factory.
There'll be no one like. Good idea. I should email the mayor of New York about that. Like when they were using prisoners to make hand sanitizers and COVID masks.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. It's like, you want some slave mask?
Well, when it comes to the Thanksgiving Christmas time, they gotta find the turkey meat somewhere. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Mystery meat. The fuck is a McRib made
Look
out
at
of?
Catherine's grandma's dog. His name's Callahan, and he's the sweetest puppy in the world. Look at him.
Yo, it's fucking Walter.
He's, and for all of you that don't know, he's like the target dog.
Yeah, he's a
What are they
forgot about
called?
Drake.
I actually don't know.
a terrier, a
fucking
Boston
loving that.
Terrier.
No,
I've
it's
seen
not
the
a
dog
Boston
many
Terrier.
times.
No, it's a
I just
Boston
don't know what the
Terrier.
breed is.
No, Boston Terriers are mutts.
So the cut
They're
was
like
free,
got a
but
flat
all
face.
of the tips
go
he
to
made
charity.
that did go to charity.
Catherine,
So
what
like
is
I was,
Callahan?
You
She's
kind
still
of tempted
alive.
myself into
No, maybe.
giving most of the price of a cut like to charity.
Oh, that's
I ended
sweet
up
of you.
paying less than I would have.
Yeah, of course.
But because it was like, oh yeah, tips are going to charity, it's like,
Oh,
okay,
you're
well,
right.
I can't just walk out, can I?
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I should have gone today. That was foolish.
Yeah. Normal cut runs you 25 in there, but I ended up paying like 15.
C. What is that? That's backwards ass C.
Also, can I say the price
Oh.
of a cut? I don't know if it's this town or if it's
It's a
in
bull
America.
terrier.
The price of
Yes.
a haircut
Yeah.
to me is fucking extortionate. $25 here seems standard. In my local, I pay 12 British pounds, which is like less than $15.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it'll keep on getting less and less.
I was just like $20 is a regular haircut plus tip.
Here for everything.
So, which I didn't even know you're supposed to tip your hairstyle.
Yeah, okay,
It's
yeah,
still
no,
when I was
and
five, I
that's something
could've
like,
died.
okay, I understand tipping like underpaid, like wait staff, but tipping your
Specifically now,
hairdresser,
surgery lessons
most
as well.
hairdressers are self-employed. Why?
Yeah.
Why do
My
they need
entire
tips?
body.
I thought that was a
good.
meme. I thought someone made a funny to me when they said that. I actually only figured out about that one like a couple of months ago.
I have gone this entire semester since being here without a haircut until today.
Really?
Half the reason being, first of all, it's extortionate. Second of all, I don't know. There's some visceral opposition in me to tipping a hairdresser. I feel like it's unnecessary. I don't know.
If you're only going to go there, once or twice, don't tip.
There's
There's no point. There's places that, am I going to go back here? I don't need a tip.
I personally,
I've
I
done
go
that
to
many
sports
times.
clips.
Sports clips.
But they're still relatively expensive.
It is. It's more. It's about $25 for what I get because I always get the VIP package
Yeah, that's what
because I get that hot towel and hair shampoo, and the head rub.
See, I get nothing. I just say, I want to go in there, you're going to cut my goddamn hair, and I'm going to walk out of here. I don't want shampoo, I don't want a massage, I don't want anything. It's still $20.
I was going in there thinking of like responses
A
because like
haircut with a happy ending.
yeah, because it's like it's much more.
I give myself my own happy ending, and I still have to subsidize it.
Not while you're having the haircut, right? You got the cloth over you. All they see is
That'd be a happy during, okay?
This
It's
is-
the happy ending. I gotta go back to the car for that. So, I'm just saying.
But yeah, I almost left it until I went back home because it's like half the price. That's
Wow.
what I'm doing with like dental appointments. I am not going to the dentist here. I will make the appointment for back home
Do you
because
need
it's just,
to?
it's just so much cheaper.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
you look fine to me.
Thank you. But like you meant to go every 6 months. And,
I don't have. I haven't.
See,
I've
I-
been with this like 5 years. I don't have insurance.
okay, and again that's kind of
Like,
a cultural difference.
I
as
take care of
well.
my teeth.
Oh, I am big time fucked with dentistry because I got 4 wisdom teeth coming in and only one of them's coming out right.
Oh crap!
Oh yeah, so I got these 3 gonna get absolutely fucked, and my
Why did you
naturally
get in-
straight teeth are gonna
dude,
get.
that happened
I'm
to
gonna
me.
turn full British in like.
Oh.
That happened to me when I was 14. My wisdom teeth were coming in, and I had to get surgery. The doctor said it would take like an hour and a half. Took 5 fucking hours. They had to re-drug me because I was starting to wake up. So I was
You
just
remember waking up?
no, I don't remember waking up, but I remember feeling so fucking hot. This is before I've ever done any drugs, right? I was 15.
Legend.
Yeah. And
Who did drugs at 15?
and I remember, like, I woke up with the worst, like, drug hangover of my life. I couldn't move my body, which isn't normal normally, because they had to re-drug me. And then they kind of, like, sent me out because the doctor wanted to go home before I was, like, fully out of it. So I was, like, essentially paralyzed in the car.
Just leaves you in the dentist chair till tomorrow. Just,
Yeah.
just fucking
And,
punch
and they gave me fucking Percocet for the pain.
you.
And so-
He's on the perk.
yeah, I was on the perks, and then I was like, I would take it, then like trip balls. I was just like
God.
staring at the ceiling.
I think I was-
My jaw was so swollen it looked like I'd been in a car wreck because he'd like essentially had to rip 4 wisdom teeth out because they were all impacting my molars.
Oh, yeah.
So I was in so much pain. Then I had to get another molar removed a few years, like a year later, because it fucked up. Like the wisdom tooth fucked it up. Then I had to get braces, and I had to get this tooth brought down, because it was in the gum. So I had to have like 3 dental surgeries in all of high school. So my mouth was just fucked up.
I can feel one of my teeth twisting right now. Like,
yeah.
it pops out.
Yeah.
I think I would like to be in the room with anesthesia Dave in full
Oh yeah,
effect.
that'd be fun.
I wonder what he would come up with.
You ever seen Drunk Dave? It's just that. It's just that.
Oh man, the sound you made is like, whoa, that is a demon trying to escape that. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I mean, I'm glad you're getting it out, but I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I have
God, that was
I have an unnaturally narrow esophagus. So
How
every
do
time
you know that?
went to the doctor about it. Every time I went to the doctor about it because I was like I was having like when I was
that throat, babe.
stop when I was having a kid when I was a kid I'd always like throw I was having like issues like throwing up a lot. Went to the doctor about it. He's like, yeah, you have like a bizarrely narrow esophagus. I was like, fuck. And so when I feel like I throw up, it feels like I'm actually choking to death. So I scream to like
To extra force out.
you know actually
No,
yes,
I have to do that as well. I'm just like, bah! Get it
well,
out of
except
here.
for when I threw up after Hallie told me her political opinions, it was just like, excuse me, blah. Because that was like a mild
Tell
one.
me, what is your stance on Japanese politics? Oh, excuse me for a second, just to see you walking out of the sheet, just
You
going,
didn't make any noises.
swabbling
then.
about, and then I'll just see as you just going,
I choose to believe the only reason he threw up, and absolutely no other reason, is because Hallie's like opinions were just so repulsive.
What were they?
I don't remember. I blacked
I
out.
know.
he
I
threw
can
it
guess.
up.
Ugh.
Yum, 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 yum.
She just saying like Japanese should be the only Asians. I'm like, oh,
I haven't eaten a carrot in so long.
fuck! Oh, you.
What the hell random kind of thought is this?
But,
But carrots in this
I
fucking country.
haven't eaten a
Oh,
carrot
they're
in like
everywhere.
a
Yeah,
year.
not everywhere.
I haven't
haven't
eaten
eaten
like a year.
fucking
Oh my
carrot
God.
in ages.
I haven't
I'll
eaten
show
carrot in
you
about
one.
3 hours. What the fuck is wrong with you
What's
guys?
that supposed to
I'm
mean?
from Ireland. Half my friends are carrots.
This guy.
I'm upset.
They have an orange body and green top like a fucking Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, orange body,
That's where they come from.
orange body, green top, white face. It's the Irish flag flipped.
Yeah,
It's just
Oh.
Essex, bro.
Is what?
It's just Essex. Big orange fake tan. Green hair. That's an Essex joke, lads. You don't get it. It's Towie, mate. Don't even get it. But anyway, it's Essex. That's where I was fucking born. And just,
You were born in
I was
Essex?
born in fucking Essex.
That explains so much about you now.
I was 1 year old when I left.
I was 1 year old.
Alright.
Oh my
Back
god.
off. How about that, yeah?
Oh,
That's fair.
at the risk of being too personal, how do you go from Essex to Cornwall? Like what? What?
What was that
My,
transition?
my parents were like, yo, this place fucking sucks
Sucks.
ass. They're like, "Let's go somewhere like some really nice, and they moved to fucking Cornwall.
And then we went to
So,
fucking Cornwall?
Yeah, my house is actually an old pub, but they.
Oh, that's cool.
It
That's
used,
actually-
it used to have a massive
pretty
like
cool.
bar in it and everything, but they took that out,
They
unfortunately.
should cut the bar in.
Now we've got
Oh,
but now we during COVID we built a whole like shed, so it's now like our own bar as well.
Oh yeah.
It's
that's pretty
amazing.
rad.
We got,
That's
we got a jacuzzi hut next to it as
Do you
well.
have one of them like draft machines?
Don't know.
fuck.
Well, I'm gonna get my dad one of those for Christmas. Or
I,
something.
Aw.
I worked in a liquor store at the height of COVID, and
Yeah, boy.
my boss, being the savvy businessman that he is, like got in a load of them, and he sold them at like a £50 markup. And he made fucking bank. It was unreal.
Absolutely, you know that's what it is. You just got because everyone was building their own fucking bars back then as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Top
like,
shagger.
we can't go to the pub, and everyone in England has a massive drinking problem that no one wants to admit to because unlike the health center like kind of surveys, they put like how many beers do you have during the week, and it's like I don't know, like 6 or 7. And that will constitute you as a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah, that's
It's
more
like,
than that's more than
that's the
recommended
average. That's average.
amount
Like,
of units.
Yeah.
That was my daily for a long time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yikes. So everyone in England's an alcoholic, technically.
Or like, I don't need the
Yikes.
beer. I just want one.
I
stop
don't need it. I just
anytime.
need one to live.
Yeah.
It stops
I'm,
my
I'm just,
headache.
you know, I'm just not myself without one.
It's like the people that claim they like that look down upon alcoholics, so they can't function without hitting weed when they wake up. I'm like, how dare you? How
Yeah.
dare you look down?
I don't get smoking weed in the morning. To be
I
honest.
neither do
I do
I.
it. I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
every now and then when I've literally got nothing else throughout the day, and
That's-
literally
yeah.
one of my mates are over, I'm just like, why the fuck not?
'Cause
You know,
yeah.
just have a day where I'm just absolutely stoned.
Yeah,
throughout
doing it
it.
in the morning is mad because it'll rob all your productivity for
Oh,
the day.
absolutely. Like uni during COVID, mate, I was just chiefing all fucking day long. I'd wake up at 3 p.m. and just be like,
Christ! Oh my
I
god!
do used to give me a queue for like 30 quid because I hooked them up with a bunch of uni kids' numbers. Yeah, so I was like the link, and he gave me fucking 7 grams for 30 quid.
So you were like essentially like 25% of a pimp.
yeah,
Yeah.
Essentially.
yeah.
Shit. Well,
Sounds
I
right.
pass out freshmen like that to get drugs, so like I guess it works the same way.
It's trafficking.
All right.
Not,
then.
they're 18. It's not trafficking.
What?
That's.
No.
I think check
what?
the law on that.
Well, this
Yeah,
podcast
Dave.
needs to end right now. No, I'm
I was
kidding.
gonna say. I
Oh.
do have to work tomorrow.
Oh, we have been going for a while.
So you guys can keep going if you want, but I gotta go to bed.
Oh no, Zach, you're recording this.
when,
Hold
when
on.
we doing this Until Dawn stream?
Oh, we should plan that out soon.
Oh
Do it
my
tonight.
god.
Until Dawn, it's the first one they made.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the second
I-
best
Oh,
one.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
the
we
best
were
one.
staying up.
Oh, well, no, I haven't played the Quarry, but like it's the best.
Yeah, the quarry,
Is-
the first like third of the core is good.
So I think I'm gonna play the outro for the podcast. I'm gonna work on having this actual outro. 1 second.